set alight in Toowoomba. The 26-year-old victim suffered severe burns in the attack and remains in hospital in a serious but stable condition. The two women, aged 35 and 31, have been charged with one count each of acts intended to cause grievous bodily harm. There are fears Australian federal police officers have been impacted by a Russian cyber attack. Katie Fuller explains.
The cyber attack was as severe as the Optus and Medibank hacks, except it's not customer data that's been stolen, but the details of AFP staff. The initial target of this breach in April was HWL Ebsworth, a nationwide law firm. The AFP was a client of this firm and is just one of many government agencies affected. There are now fears police data has been leaked on the dark web, including identities and email addresses. The breach is being investigated.
The Presbyterian Church has banned the Welcome to Country. It's deemed acknowledgements of country inappropriate for worship because Indigenous spirituality is inconsistent with Christian belief. A jumper worn by Princess Diana has sold for more than $1 million after frenzied bidding at auction. The red jumper, covered in a flock of sheep with a single black sheep, was worn by Diana when she was 19 and newly engaged to Prince Charles. The auction house had estimated it would fetch around $80,000. It went for 14 times that. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Get 10-year warranty and 10 years capped price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide has brought back forward Charlie Dixon for tomorrow night's must-win semi-final clash against GWS at Adelaide Oval. He replaces Jeremy Finlayson, who's been dropped, while Dylan Williams has also been left out of the side. Meantime, the Giants have brought back Stephen Cornelio after he missed last week's match against St Kilda with an eye injury. And the semi-final action will get underway tonight with Melbourne taking on Carlton at the MCG, and you can hear all the action from that one right here on 5AA. Well, Australia remains alive in the Davis Cup following a win over France. Craig Gabriel reports from Manchester.
This was a crucial tie for Australia, especially after losing 2-1 to Great Britain the day before. Had we lost to the French, it would have taken a miracle to save Australia. Things were on thin ice at the start of the tie against France when Max Purcell lost to Adrian Manarino 7-6, 6-4, but then Alex de Minaur righted the vessel with a 7-6, 6-3 victory over Hugo Humbert. Finally, Purcell teamed up with Matt Ebden to win the doubles. Australia next play Switzerland on Saturday.
Australia will take on South Africa in the cricket tonight in Game 4 of their one-day series at Centurion. The Aussies currently lead that five-match series 2-1. And Aussie Lucas Herbert has made a stunning start at the Fortinet Championship in California. He currently holds a two-shot lead at 9 under. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Mostly sunny and 21 today, sunny tomorrow 24, a sunny morning on Sunday 29 and partly cloudy Monday 27. At the moment 11. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
6 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to a Friday on 5AA Breakfast. It is the 15th of September. The heat and thankfully the wind from yesterday has died down a bit. A little bit cooler, but still really nice weekend on the way. Big program on the way as well. It is Meat Tray Friday, of course. We've got more AFL Grand Final opportunities for people to get put in the running to win tickets. They still have another week or so to go of contesting, and then the Monday the following week we will be giving away the AFL Grand Final weekend. Tickets, accommodation, flights, you name it. Fitzy's going to be on. We'll talk finals footy with Fitzy before 7 o'clock. Paul Roberts from SA Power Network. So it was large parts of South Australia yesterday, they had the power turned off when it got warm. And SA Power Network said, well, you better get used to this. This is something that's going to happen a little bit as we get into summer because of the concern about the infrastructure and whether it will hold up through windy weather and so forth. They're trying to mitigate fire risks. We'll flash back in time with Michael Smith. And, of course, it being a Friday morning, Feedback Friday after 8:30. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Will. I don't know if anybody made the same fateful error as I did last weekend by putting in some quite immature seedlings, but that northerly wind wreaked havoc on them yesterday. My my cucumbers, Will, are pretty much all gone.
Oh, no.
It's a scene of devastation in the old veggie patch. The tomatoes and the jalapenos held up all right.
They're all right.
They're okay.
Jalapenos hard to grow.
Jalapenos are excellent to grow in Adelaide. They're very easy to grow.
I love jalapenos.
Yeah,
Delicious.
they're good.
I add them to everything.
You should grow some. They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can get the seedlings at Mitre 10. You can get the seedlings all sorts of places. You can actually get the seeds out of a jalapeno and put it in the garden. Although if they've been pickled, because of the vinegar, I think
Right, that kills it. You need to
they don't strike. You get a fresh jalapeno. Just get one from your local supermarket if there's one there, and stick a seed in the ground. Wash your hands afterwards. Don't rub your eye.
No.
Or worse.
Or anything else.
Go to the lav. I think anyone who's done that doesn't make that same mistake twice.
Yeah, I would have thought.
But yeah, no, horrible wind. How were you affected by it, folks? It was.
Just made it a horrible day, didn't it? It just felt like a dirty day. I think Jane Riley used to call those days dirty days.
Yeah. That was Jane's term. Didn't they? Well, I shouldn't say didn't. Don't the Ghana people have 6 different words for our seasons?
Well, they've got 6 different seasons, don't they?
Yeah, 6 seasons. And I think we are now in the sort of hot and cold and annoyingly windy season.
Makes much more sense.
Yeah, it's
than a sort of
actually
a blanket. Everyone has just 4 distinct seasons. Well, no, they don't.
Yeah. Well, there's a huge difference between the start of spring and the end of spring.
Completely.
Normally.
Yeah. It feels like a much more sophisticated way of dividing up the year.
Yeah, you think about how nice autumn is in Adelaide. Autumn's excellent in Adelaide.
It's a beautiful time of year.
Hardly ever get any wind. But now it's the real windy time, particularly if you live along the foothills and get the gully winds.
Not
as they're
too
known.
windy today, and won't be for the next few days. Similar to the pattern of life this past week, it'll get really hot Sunday and warm Monday, and then when the change comes through on Tuesday, the winds will pick up. Then it'll drop back again. It is Meat Tray Friday this morning. We have a cracking meat tray provided, and we'll be giving it away by 9 o'clock today. This is going to be fun. This is going to require a lot of help, a lot of creative thinking from our listeners, because a classic song was reimagined in this past week. You might be familiar with Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire.
Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Walter Winchell, Joe DiMaggio, Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Studebaker, Television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe.
Mention the events. So I was reading actually Billy Joel's take on how it was conceived. He was recording in a studio with a 21-year-old at the time, and they were talking about the 21-year-old saying it's all right for you. You didn't have to deal with Vietnam, and the 21-year-old saying this is a horrible time to be 21. Vietnam's going on, listing all these things, and Billy Joel went, well, hang on. When I was 21, all these things were going on, and that was sort of the genesis of the song. These list of major events, major people, and major things. Fallout Boy, a band, have done a modern version, changing the lyrics to modern phenomena and modern celebrities and people. So a new version just come out this week. Our challenge for you, 5AA Breakfast listeners, and our giant think tank, is to come up with an Australian version of We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh, I like this.
So we need suggestions from you, our listeners. Every single one puts you in the running to win the meat tray, thanks to Liam Joanna and the team at My Local Butcher, Chanella's 62 Prospect Road at Prospect. So we need a list of relevant Australian celebrities or events that would feature in an Australian version of We Didn't Start the Fire. So, for those that didn't hear the original version, Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray is the opening line of the song. We need people, significant Australians in history that would feature in an Australian version, or events, because, things like North Korea, South Korea feature in the original.
H-bomb. The King and I, Catcher in the Rye, Eisenhower, vaccine, England's got a new queen, Joseph
Geez,
Stalin.
that line almost works.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Australia's got a new king. You could just change that one straight away.
Maybe that's maybe that can be the first entry.
There's a lot that only really resonate to Americans, and I'd say Americans of a certain generation, like
Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, Joe DiMaggio. Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn wasn't he Nixon's lawyer?
Oh, was he?
Was he the fixer for Richard
that
Nixon?
Would make sense.
The guy with the broken nose.
Yeah,
he
that would
like
make sense.
Carl Malden.
That's
Elvis Presley, Disneyland, Bardo, Budapest, Alabama. Alabama would be a reference to the Birmingham bombings, wouldn't it? Alabama, civil rights. Khrushchev, Princess Grace.
How about this? I just got a text from Blakey. John Blake has reimagined this. This is a total coincidence. We did not consult with John Blake about what the Metro Friday...
Has Blake already done this for us?
No. John Blake has done a version today for one of his spots about the Port Adelaide Football Club.
Based on this?
Based on We Didn't Start the
You
Fire.
kidding me?
Yes. So it's the week where everyone's reimagining We Didn't Start the Fire. A Port Adelaide version's coming up. We want an Australian-themed version from you this morning. Going to need lots of famous names, maybe some famous incidents. Who features? Everyone gets to contribute one person or one part of a verse. Eugene in Linden Park, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Look, I think this is a seminal moment in Australian history. Trevor Chappell underarm ball.
Oh, that
is great.
That is perfect.
Yeah. Trevor Chappell, excellent. Trevor Chappell underarm ball.
Well, in fact, with the arrangement and those syllables, that could almost be the end of one of the verse lines.
Yeah.
That kind of works.
Because I think what we should do is actually get them all together and then give them to Blakey and
Blakey
say,
can record it.
What do you reckon?
All right, put it down on the list. Trevor Chappell underarm ball.
Excellent.
Just Trevor Chappell. That works magnificently well. They were after a cracking start. We didn't start the fire, the Australian version. Yeah.
Harold Holt.
Oh, Harold Holt's good.
He's got to be in there.
Harold Holt needs to be in
wherever he is. Might be listening from some Japanese submarine somewhere.
Chinese, I think.
Chinese.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
And they were mates, the Japanese, by that point in time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, forgive and forget.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all in the past.
Some time had passed. 822 300. You can text us to on the Duttons text line 0448 08 1395. Or jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. News headlines coming up next.
Time is up for your chance to win the ultimate payday. You've got until midnight tonight to get your Hospital Research Foundation home lottery tickets and be one of 5 winners to pocket $100,000. Plus, your tickets stay in the draw for the $5 million Hyde Park grand prize. Hurry, see full details and get your tickets by midnight tonight at homelottery.com.au. That's homelottery.com.au. Licence M14411.
Are you ready for massive Mazda savings? Mawson Lakes Mazda is having a huge demo clearance across the entire Mazda range. We are overstocked on current model Mazda demos that need to go. So be quick to snap up a demo deal in your favourite model and colour. There is no better time to take advantage of these amazing deals. Be quick, stocks won't last at these prices. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city, Salisbury Highway.
Now, we probably all have a friend working in the construction industry. Well, here's a startling statistic. Our mates in construction are 8 times more likely to die by suicide than a workplace accident.
Mates in Construction is a charity dedicated to suicide awareness training and support for the construction and allied industries. It's Mates looking out for mates. Training teaches people what it looks like when their mates are struggling and how to have meaningful conversations.
And in 2021, Mates in Construction was endorsed by the World Health Organisation as a global industry suicide prevention best practice.
If you believe your workplace needs assistance from Mates in Construction, visit mates.org.au. If you're struggling, call Lifeline on 131114 for 24/7 crisis support. That's 13 11 14.
At Harvey Norman, get 60 months interest-free, no deposit finance from Latitude Financial Services and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. That's a bonus $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend on interest-free purchases. Shop our huge range. Everything you need for your home and lifestyle with 60 months interest-free. No deposit, no interest with 60 monthly repayments. And receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. T's and C's, fees, charges and product exclusions apply. Participating Latitude credit cards only. New customers must be approved. Minimum finance amount $1,000.
Boring kitchen, tired laundry, bland bathroom. Fix the blah with Subway tiles from $29.95 per square metre at Beaumont's. Loads of colours in stock and ready to go. Anything is possible with Subways from $29.95 from Beaumont Tiles.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
17 minutes after 6, news headlines in just a moment. We'll check the weather for you as well. Lots of Meat Tray Friday suggestions coming through on the Duttons text line, though.
There are. I'm just wading through them now. Before I get to some of them, a great text from a teacher, Jai from Clearview. He says, I'm a teacher, and in our Year 9 history class, we recently did a short research task comparing the Fall Out Boy version Events and People with the Billy Joel Events and People. The students loved it. They were both great tunes. So here's some of the... That's a great text, Jay. Thank you for that.
That would have been a fun class.
Now, here's some. Dame Edna has to be in
Dame
there.
Edna, yes.
Russell Coit. It's a nice left field one. This is a good one. Bob Hawke smashing a pint.
Yeah.
That scans really well too, doesn't it?
That works perfectly in the song.
And someone's asked whether Rennie can sing the song once it's done.
You don't have to ask Rennie twice to sing songs.
He's probably already practicing.
With a huge range of vehicles available in the hills in Murray Bridge, Duttons can deliver right now. Let's take some on the open line, 8223 0000. Danny, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, guys?
Good, thanks, Danny.
Get us a lyric, Danny.
Oh, I was actually just thinking of a name, Eddie Marbo.
Yeah, good
Marbo.
One. Yeah, Eddie Marbo.
That's
absolutely.
a great one,
Yeah,
Danny.
and Maralinga.
Yeah,
Marbo, Maralinga. Well, there's alliteration works in the song a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you, Danny. Dave, good morning.
Morning, guys. You've just, one of my text messages just stole one of mine, but I'll do the first line. Port Arthur, John Howard, Kathy Freeman, Russell Coit.
Bit of everything.
Port Arthur, John Howard, Kathy Freeman, Russell Coit. That's excellent, mate. That's really good, Dave.
That describes a period of about...
Well, Port Arthur and John Howard went hand in hand because
That's
he'd just
right.
become Prime Minister when
That's
that
almost
happened.
a decade or 15 years from sort of the
Kathy
late 80s
Freeman.
to the early 2000s, isn't it?
Yep, Kathy Freeman 4 years later. Port Arthur was, I think, May 1996. About 2 months after John Howard became PM.
Yep. Wendy, good morning.
Good morning. I was thinking doing the Stephen Bradbury.
Oh, yes. Oh, Stephen.
Doing a Bradbury.
Doing a Bradbury. Oh,
That
that's
is good.
Magnificent, Wendy.
Doing a
Great
Bradbury.
suggestion. Oh, this is coming together
That is
very
great, Wendy.
nicely. 8223 0000. Text us on the Duttons text line.
Do I Stephen Bradbury?
Our listeners never disappoint. That's superb. All right, let's get into the news headlines. We'll take some more after 6:30. A pedestrian has died in hospital following a crash at Salisbury last week. The 73-year-old man was hit by a vehicle outside a shopping centre on John Street. The driver of the car, a 70-year-old man, was not injured and is cooperating with police. Major crash officers are investigating the circumstances surrounding the crash. 80 people have now died on our roads compared to 53 at the same time last year. Good news for those on board a luxury cruise ship that's been stranded off Greenland. They've been freed after 3 days stuck at sea. The Ocean Explorer, with 206 passengers on board, including 90 Australians, was pulled free by a fisheries research vessel at high tide. Authorities say the cruise ship will now travel to a port where the damage can be assessed. You know, the report they got back from the boat when they first made contact with them was... Excuse me, was that their biggest fear was that they were running out of alcohol. A lot of Australians on board.
Well, there were a lot of Aussies there, yeah, exactly. Being stuck in the middle of a glacier, it sounds less appealing than, say, you're just drifting off Vanuatu.
I agree.
With a full fridge and,
that would have been preferable.
Plenty of prawns. Right, might stay here for another couple of weeks.
More than 90% of retailers have been victims of crime as shoplifting becomes more common in the cost of living crisis. The Australian Retailers Association has found stealing is the most common crime, occurring in 3/4 of stores, followed by verbal abuse and aggression. A jumper once worn by Princess Diana has sold for more than $1 million after frenzied bidding at auction.
Is it the Love Heart jumper?
The red jumper covered in a flock of white sheep.
Oh, that's like sheep, that's right.
With a single black sheep, was worn by Diana when she was 19 and had just become engaged to Prince Charles. The auction house had estimated the knitwear would fetch about $80,000.
What did it go for?
It went for 14 times that.
Wow.
More than $1 million.
You'd want to read the washing instructions carefully, though, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you stuffing that one up?
No, we've shrunk Diana's jumper.
That's right.
Another aftershock has been felt in Morocco nearly a week after the earthquake that killed nearly 3,000 people. Villagers in part of the Atlas Mountains ran from their homes when they felt the latest tremor. And this reporter has told, or this local has told the BBC that she also felt it.
I felt it moving again. The house was moving and I got panicked again. So I took my daughter and then suddenly it stopped. It was like a quick aftershake. I saw it was 4.7. But it was, again, a scary moment.
11.4 degrees outside in the city at the moment. Heading for a top of 21 today. Saturday, a top of 24 and sunny. Sunday, we'll get to 29. Monday, 27. And then the cool change comes 21 on Tuesday, dropping down to 17 Wednesday and 18 on Thursday.
I'll tell you what, we're off to a flyer with today's meat tray. This asking you to rewrite the lyrics to Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire, inspired by Australian events and identities. Some of the cleverness of our listeners never ceases to astound me. People are suggesting opening lines, and I'll just go through a whole pile of them because they give you a sense as to how it will work in a lyrical sense. Andrew in Kersbrook says, Gold Rush, Eureka Stockade, Ned Kelly, Australia's getting made. Then Rob says, John Farnham, Sorry Day, Mark Latham, Anzac Day.
Yeah.
Is the first line. Linda from Warrado says, Coon Cheese Now, Cheer, Gin Distilleries, Gourmet Beer. And then, this is timely, particularly as we cross to Tom, a couple of sports-related ones. Don Bradman, Wing Keel, Jazelenko, that's from Billy. And Andy in Roseworthy says, Trevor Chappell, Harold Holt, Ken Hinkley, still a coach. They are superb.
Tom Breen is in the 5AA Breakfast Studio. Get 10-year warranty, 10 years cap price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi. We'll get to more of those after 6:30. Rennie, good morning to you.
Good morning. Now, I know I'm short, but I'm in a very low chair this morning.
Yeah, you are. What's happened over
You
there?
look particularly short today, Tom.
Your head's barely over the mic. It's like Dickie Knee looking from this perspective.
Yeah, I'm going to take it
There used to be that newsreader who was really tiny, Michael. Because was it Hogs used to take him off with a giant glass of water?
Oh,
And he'd
did
sit
he?
there like this.
Well, I might need that. Well, Ken Hinkley, you just brought him up. Pembo, this is judgment hour, isn't it? This is the time where Port has to stand up, and there's no bigger game. They just have to win. They have to find a way to get it done. They've named Charlie Dixon. He's in the side. He comes in for Jeremy Finlayson, who's struggled probably in the last month, maybe even 4 to 6 weeks. Was pretty good before that. I thought he had a pretty good first half of the season. But
He's the leading goal kicker, isn't he? 38 goals?
Yeah,
Like that.
and I think that's level with what he kicked in 2019 when the Giants, his best ever, made the grand final. So disappointing for Finlayson, but they had to make a call. They've named Trent McKenzie.
Well, Ollie Lord, I imagine, when they were imagining how this next fortnight would play out, they would have thought might have dropped out, but he was the most damaging forward last week.
Well, he was the most competitive too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Attacked the football, kicked 4 goals. He's only played a dozen games, and that was a career best, albeit very short, sample size thus far. But he at least hit the contest, and in finals, as you boys know, that's what you need. You need your forwards to hit the pack. I actually think Willie Rioli's playing quite well, but he needs the ball to come to ground so that he can become dangerous.
Are you confident Port will get it done, Tom?
I wasn't at the start of the week, but the longer the week goes on, I am. I think they'll win.
I'm confident, but you speak to Port people, there's no confidence whatsoever.
There's not.
Well, the belief has really been rattled by last week.
Well, does that explain? Can I just ask you folks, if you're a Port supporter, are you going to the game? Because the sales so far are woeful.
Yeah,
it's not even 35,000.
Is that right? I didn't know it was that low.
Yeah, somewhere in the order of 30,000, they reckon.
Well, turn up because it's the final home game of the year.
I mean, in part, playing GWS who don't have any fans.
Well, that's a big factor.
Makes it
the old the GWS tsunami.
But this is a game.
Hasn't arrived yet again.
This is the game they have to win. It's their last home game.
Yeah.
This is it. You're on the road after this.
Yeah, that's right. It's the last time you're going to see him playing in Adelaide this year.
And potentially the last time you're going to see Travis Boak.
I mean, a lot of it's probably cost of living,
to
be honest. And people think, well, hang on, if I'm going to go to the game, and it's not a knock on the Adelaide Oval because it's the AFL that owns the finals. The AFL takes over everything, takes over ticketing.
Yeah,
they get all the money from all the merchandise during the finals. Everything goes. I think that's right. Merchandise.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely tickets.
Yeah, they get the lion's share of it. Maybe a lot of people are just going, bloody hell, I just got my last power bill. I just can't.
Well, I suppose your membership, you made the commitment 12 months ago.
That's
and
right.
Who knows? And everyone's 12 months has 12 last month has gotten worse. So, you've suddenly got hit with an unexpected payment of a ticket. I'll be interested to see what the Melbourne games are like. But then again, if you've got two, I can't imagine the Collingwood Melbourne, when they play each other, it's not quite the same phenomenon as bringing GWS fans to South Australia.
Exactly. But winners, if we're going down that path, boys, I'm going with Port.
I think Port. I think
Port
they've showed they're a better side.
Yep.
And they're playing at home.
Totally.
And they've got a good record against the Giants recently. I know the Giants have won 10 of their last 12. They're arguably the hottest side in the competition. But I think Port will get it done, and I hope they get it done. And I think Melbourne tonight, I think they win. I know they're struggling for goal-kicking options.
Carlton looked like crap last week.
Yeah,
They looked like they were playing the way they played in the middle of the year, not the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I just think when it gets to the crunch...
Melbourne are unlucky not to beat Collingwood.
And when it gets to the really nitty-gritty, Christian Petrarca, Clayton Oliver, Max Gawn, I'm looking at those boys and saying, they'll stand up.
Yeah.
Surely. That's what I'm thinking anyway. And Carlton have got some rippers. They've got some good players, Paddy Cripps, but I just think throughout the 4 quarters, too many match winners.
They've dropped Harry Mackay, haven't they?
No, concussed.
Oh, concussed. Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
He's
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
tough year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. And Jack Martin's a big blow for them too. He was actually starting to play some decent footy, suspended. But Jacob Van Rooyen's a big out for Melbourne.
We've spent far too much time talking about this AFL crap, Tom. Sturt v Adelaide,
Yes,
Sunday.
huge game.
I was talking to a mate from the Adelaide Oval yesterday, and I just said, "You got a massive weekend coming up Sunday." And he went, "Yeah, and Saturday." And I went, "Saturday." Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But get along, folks.
Well, it's going to be huge, and it's going to be a beautiful day.
It's going to be a
29
beautiful
degrees.
day. And tickets, if you're worried about cost of living, go to an SANFL final. Because if you're under 18, you're still getting for nothing, even in the finals.
Yeah.
Big crowd, go the mighty Double Blues.
Good on you, Rennie.
Thanks, boys.
Get 10-year warranty, 10 years cap price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
For anyone with chronic low back pain, there's always one thing on your mind: fix my lower back. Reactivate is a clinically proven restorative therapy that works through a surgically implanted pulse generator. Think of it like having built-in physical therapy, which can feel like a deep tissue massage. To learn more about Reactivate, visit fixmylowerback.com.au. Patients must talk to their health professional about whether the Reactivate implantable pulse generator device is right for them and suitable as part of the overall plan to manage their intractable chronic mechanical low back pain. Outcomes may vary for each patient. Patients should discuss with their healthcare professional the factors that could impact the level and timing of the effect. The Reactivate IPG device is not a first-line treatment for chronic mechanical low back pain. Surgery is required to use the Reactivate IPG device, and any surgical procedure carries risk.
Are mild varicose veins making your legs feel achy, heavy and uncomfortable? Introducing Caruso's best-selling Veins Care formula, Caruso's Veins Clear. Caruso's Veins Clear relieves the uncomfortable symptoms associated with mild varicose veins, such as aching, heaviness, leg swelling and itchiness. It also maintains circulation to the legs and supports blood vessel health. Caruso's Veins Clear is made in Australia and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Jayco Adelaide's Great Escape summer sales in its second week and must end this Saturday, so you still have time to take advantage of great deals across the entire range at Jayco Adelaide. And believe us, they're not mucking around, with prices starting from just $23,590, which is outstanding.
That's right. What Will says is true. The savings are genuine. We're talking hot summer savings of up to $3,000. So if you need an excuse to plan a Great Escape, you've now got one thanks to Jayco Adelaide's Great Escape summer sale.
There's plenty of stock with flexible finance options on offer for approved applicants.
So don't miss this incredible opportunity. Jayco Adelaide's Great Escape summer sale must end this Saturday. And if you're warming the idea of a new RV, go to jaycoadelaide.com.au or visit the team at 804 to 820 South Road, Edwardstown.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 21 with the 6:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Peary Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
A luxury cruise ship stranded in Greenland has finally been set free. The Ocean Explorer, with 206 passengers on board, including 90 Australians, was pulled free by a fisheries research vessel at high tide. It's now on its way to a port in Iceland where the damage can be assessed. Up to 20,000 people are now feared dead in Libya's flood disaster. More from Brett McLeod.
The town of Derna bore the brunt of the catastrophe, and survivors say they believe many bodies are still trapped under the mud, creating a new threat: disease. Adding to the trauma, the United Nations says many of the thousands of deaths could have been avoided. Libya's meteorological service has been so run down after years of civil war and divided governments, it is in practical terms not operating. If it had been, the United Nations meteorological experts say warnings could have been given, which would have averted most of the deaths.
Another aftershock has been felt in Morocco nearly a week after a deadly earthquake which killed nearly 3,000 people. Villagers in parts of the Atlas Mountains ran from their homes when they felt the latest tremor. Hunter Biden, the son of US President Joe, has been indicted on federal firearms charges. The indictment marks the first time the child of a sitting US president has been criminally prosecuted. US correspondent Alison Petrowski says the charges have major ramifications.
Do you think we will start to hear the Democratic Party saying that these are perhaps politically motivated charges? Because Hunter Biden will now very likely face a trial in 2024 as his father is running for re-election. So there are huge political ramifications to these charges.
The number of lives lost on SA roads this year has climbed to 80. A 73-year-old man hit by a car at Salisbury last week has died from his injuries in hospital. The driver of the car, a 70-year-old man, wasn't injured and is helping police with their inquiries. Retail crime has skyrocketed as households struggle to make ends meet. Max White reports.
More than 90% of retailers have reported a spike in people shoplifting as the cost of living rises. An Australian Retailers Association survey shows shoplifting is the most common crime, happening in 75% of shops, while 69% of retailers reported staff had been verbally abused. The organisation's chief executive, Paul Zara, says that's a shocking number and all workers should have the right to feel safe at work. Just over half ever report the crimes, believing it's a waste of time because police can do little about it.
And British pubs are introducing surge pricing for beer. You'll pay more for a beer poured during peak times, including weekends, to cover soaring costs. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Get 10-year warranty and 10 years capped price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
And Tom Wren, hopefully they won't start introducing that here.
Oh, exactly right. I hope not. And let's hope we're having a few beers on Saturday night because it's a big game tomorrow night, as we know, and Port Adelaide's players are going to have a light run at Alberton this morning as they prepare for that big clash against the Giants tomorrow night. The Power have brought back Charlie Dixon but have decided to drop Jeremy Finlayson and Dylan Williams. Defender Trent McKenzie has also been named. That's despite hurting his ankle last week against Brisbane. Meantime, GWS star Lockie Whitfield says they're not concerned about taking on Port in front of a hostile home crowd. He's told by World of Sports the side has turned being on the road into a positive, including playing at Adelaide Oval.
You spend so much time together, whether it's in Virgin Lounges or at the hotel lobby or whatever it is. We're in each other's pockets all the time. So that's obviously a good thing. You build awesome relationships, which then stems on field.
Stephen Cornelio will return for the Giants, replacing Xavier O'Halloran. Well, Australia has produced a spirited come-from-behind win to keep their Davis Cup hopes alive. The Aussies were trailing France 1-0 after Adrian Manarino got the better of Max Purcell in straight sets. But Alex de Minaur got the Aussies back on track with a straight sets win of his own against Hugo Humbert before Purcell and Matt Ebden got it done for the Aussies in the doubles to clinch the tie 2-1. Australia must now beat Switzerland in their final tie to advance to the finals in November. And in some golf to finish, Norway's Marcus Hellekild is the outright leader at the lucrative BMW Championship in England. That's after firing a stunning 8-under opening round. Jason Scrivener is the best of the Aussies. He's 4 shots back. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Mostly sunny and 21 today, sunny tomorrow 24, a sunny morning on Sunday 29 and partly cloudy for Monday 27. At the moment 11. More news as it happens on FIVEAA.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles continues to relentlessly spook our competitors with our unbelievable checked and locked prices. Here's proof. 60 by 60 Stone Co concrete look floor tiles? No, not $29.95. National Tiles price just $19.95. That's right, National Tiles price not $29.95, but an unbelievable $19.95. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
It's on now. The Garden Grove Catalogue Sale. Everything you want for your garden at fantastic Garden Grove Catalogue Sale prices. Hurry in, grab a catalogue and start saving. With discounts on products from mulches and plants to pavers and landscape materials, save on pots, hardware, outdoor furniture and much more. Catalogue sale prices on now, only while stocks last.
Garden Grove, the garden that I want.
Garden Grove catalogue sale on now. Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
23 to 7, more Meat Tray Friday calls coming up in a moment. We've received a stack of calls from listeners about an incident on the North-South motorway. John has called in. John, what's going on there?
Morning, lads. Yeah, it looks like the southbound left lane, there's a ute that's dropped a lot of oil on the road there, and they've sort of got it off the road where they can, but fire engine, police, traffic's banked up. Just before the off-ramp to go to Port Adelaide, traffic's banked right up to nearly the Bolivar Road intersection. So avoid that if you can.
Oh, that's good. That's very good advice, John. Thank you for sharing that with the many, many, many listeners to our program. It's always good. You guys are our eyes and ears out there, so we appreciate that.
I suspect that delay is going to build up very, very quickly. So if you're going to take John's advice and avoid the area, you'll be doing yourself a great deal of good service. Now, it's 22 to 7. Our meat tray, thanks to Liam, Jonah and the team at my local butcher, Chanella's, 62 Prospect Road at Prospect.
Love Chanella's.
Asking you to reimagine an Australian version of this song.
Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Walter Winchell, Joe.
Getting some great suggestions through on the Duttons text line, but a number of callers as well. Now, Alberton correspondent Dave Lloyd. Morning, Dave.
Yeah, good morning, boys. Hey, David nearly lost his way when the Keys goal wasn't paid. Port have a final at home. Is anyone going to go? I wanted to add another line, but finding orange hard to rhyme. Never mind, I've had a time now. I've burnt my toast.
Oh, Dave, that was superb,
Absolutely
mate.
superb.
That was brilliant. Are you going, mate? Of course you're going.
Certainly am. They're not allowed to start without me, technically.
Good on you, Dave.
All the best for the game too, Dave.
That was absolutely magnificent. Kim's also on the line. Morning to you, Kim.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Kim.
I'm thinking about a historical moment of my childhood. It'd have to be Zaria and Lindy Chamberlain. And I thought that the line could be at the end of the verse, the dingo's got my baby.
Yes.
Oh, that works brilliantly well.
It does. It does.
It's been very clever the way our listeners have engaged with it. Not just the list of names and moments, but indeed working them into the verses.
Yeah, working out the phrasing as
Yeah.
well. It almost sounds tasteless to sing it out loud, though, doesn't it? The dingo's got my baby. Although, you know, one of the lines from the Billy Joel song is JFK blown away. What more do I have to say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's about history
it's a
being
chronicle of
confronting.
horrible moments.
A few mates, one of whom is a local mayor, texted in, thank you, Rob, I'm sure you won't mind, saying that the thing that Billy Joel does in the song is it's decade by decade.
Right.
So the lyrics are structured, so it starts with the 1940s, so it's World War II stuff, and then it goes right up to the 90s with AIDS, Reagan, what's the last historic chapter? Wheel of Fortune, Sally Ride, heavy metal, suicide, foreign debt, homeless vets, AIDS crack, Bernie gets, hypodermics on the shore, China's under martial law, rock and roller cola wars, I can't take it anymore. So it's post Tiananmen Square.
Yeah. So it works
which was
in
1989, June 1989.
I did not know that.
I like this one, Bianca at Summertown. She's gone mega local here. I'll try to sing it. Villies, Pies, Frogs and Balls, Thebby Theatre, Rundle Mall, Britannia, Chaos, Market Halls, Final Stolen, oh my lord. And then she's pulled up there, We Didn't Start the Fire.
Good on you, Bianca. That's
like
fantastic.
And Jaden, Sandpaper Gate, high interest rates, Philip Lowe, goal decision of the Crows. I think one here from Peter in the Barossa, who must be a long-suffering Sturt supporter. He's written, John Howard, GST, Des Foster, Dodgy Free, 1978, never forget. And Mick's got one here, which we'll read out just because we love it. Eddie Maguire, he's a bore, I can't take him anymore.
You know what the sad reality is? That a number of people have been able to put together an entire verse based on the last 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah, well, why not? Why not? A few people talking about why they're not going to the football. James in Fullerton says it's $96 a ticket, and that's before food or drink. We looked at going, and we aren't Port fans, and it's too expensive. I had a really sad conversation with a mate of mine the other day at school pickup. Now, he works in a factory, and their business has a relationship with the Royal Show. And show people, please, rest assured, I'm not having a crack at you here. But they were given free show tickets to give out. And obviously everyone's tripping over themselves to get a free family ticket for the show. And this bloke thought, well, the best way to do it is to say, I'll limit the distribution of the tickets to people with families in the factory so that they can take their kids, obviously, because they're family tickets. And he said that a few of the dads came and spoke to him on the quiet and said, look, thanks, mate, but even with a free ticket, I just can't afford to go because I can't afford
Once
to buy
you get it, you can't buy anything.
The show bags, and I don't want to have to let the kids down. So, you know, it's the little things like that, little stories like that you hear are an indicator of the genuine economic hardship that people are facing.
Absolutely. Nick and McGill's on the line. Morning to you, Nick.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Dave. Yes, in regards to that song, I've got Slim, Dusty, Jean Kerr, Roy Cazale and Rollador.
Hey, that's good, Nick.
That's great, Nick. I think John Kerr has to feature in the song.
Oh, yeah. Someone texted in saying there was a suggested line, John Kerr, Whitlam no more. That was from Tim in Fulham Gardens. I like this. Can you whip it in excess? Kylie in a wedding dress. Austral Knights only fights. Two Dog Lemonade. Australia made. I think it's someone who's exactly the same age as me. Starting with a Devo reference.
The verse you've write reveals a bit about you, I think. A bit about your age and your generation. Which I suppose, you know, as the anecdote we told at the start that Billy Joel explains, the whole point of the song was about two people arguing about who had the toughest, who grew up in the toughest period.
Maybe the final two references in that line that person just submitted could be McMahon's and Lanny's, we didn't start the fire. Another one for people born in the late 60s.
McMahon's made a real impression on you. It's time to check traffic.
Come and have a good time, Will. I always say that.
Keyser, tired of back pain? It's time to try Keyser, KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will, and good morning. Dry Creek breakdown on the north-south motorway near Globe Derby Drive with delays inbound. Valley View road plates in use due to a hole in the road. Crane Junction Road near Paul's Drive. She's down to 40 there. And a bit sluggish at the moment at Burnside for works on Green Hill Road near Hallett Road. Speeds reduced there too. Cameras Bry Road, Felix, Owen Dyson Road at Christie's Beach. Freedom's 5-day homewares flash sale is on now. Get 25% off all homewares, excluding window coverings. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Freedom. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Medical research doesn't have to be a bore. Spend 14 nights at CMAX Clinical Research and catch up on your favourite shows. Then attend one follow-up visit, and upon completion, participants are paid for their time. Healthy volunteers with no current medical conditions are needed to be part of the discovery of a potential treatment for bone marrow malignancies. Apply today for C06623 at cmax.com.au. That's cmax.com.au.
The BMW sale event is on now. Experience exceptional savings at your local BMW dealer today. While stocks last, receive a $5,000 trade-in bonus, plus a 5-year BMW service package on all demonstrators across the BMW range. This exceptional offer is only available from your local BMW dealer. Adelaide BMW West Terrace Adelaide and Glenelg BMW Brighton Road Glenelg. Don't miss it. Demonstrator sale event on now.
Now, 5AA favourite Barnsey. We love Barnsey from Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, Jeps Cross and Mile End. He sure knows how to barbecue, and he's got a huge announcement. Oh, this is big. Weber has just released a brand new Q range.
30% of all Barbies sold in Australia are Weber Qs. They're legendary, and the new Qs are packed with features like a bigger cooking service, patio carts with easy access to your gas bottle, new colours, and they're built to reach higher temperatures too, so perfect for pork crackling.
I reckon almost everyone's owned a Weber Q at one point or another. You got one?
Yeah, definitely have had one.
Yeah, well, I've had two. It's going to be the hit this summer, so get down to Jeps Cross and Mile End. Barnsley will be thrashing them in-store every day just to show you how lit this thing is.
Get down to Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, Mile End and Jeps Cross today or this weekend and prepare to get lit.
Beat the heat with Decor Lighting and their new range of ceiling fans. Hot new looks in ceiling fans to keep you cool this summer. Be inspired today. Decor Lighting, 24 The Parade, Norwood.
Decorate with Decor Lighting.
Hey, excuse me, you're Adam, right?
Yeah, I'm Adam.
The Adam who bought his hearing aids at Specsavers?
Actually, yeah.
The Adam who got quoted thousands more elsewhere, then got top-of-the-range hearing aids at Specsavers?
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, this is Adam.
Get your hearing aids at Specsavers and you'll never hear the end of it. We've got everyday low prices on the latest tech hearing aids. Book your free 15-minute hearing check with your local audiology professional at specsavers.com.au/hearing. Conditions apply.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
12 to 7. Let's get a look at how the weather's going to play out today and over the course of the weekend. Vince Rowland's on duty at the Bureau this morning. Vince, just take us through the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, not looking too bad today. A bit cooler than yesterday. We're only going for a top of 21 degrees in the city today. A little bit cooler along the coastal fringe with Glenelg at top of 20, Noongar 19, and up in the hills a touch cooler as well with 20 degrees for Mount Barker. But yeah, not too bad a day. Mostly sunny, maybe a little bit of patchy cloud around at times, but just looking at northwesterly winds today, or west to northwesterly, getting up to around the 15-20 kilometres an hour, but becoming light in the afternoon. So, yeah, not too bad conditions. But certainly as we head into the weekend, looking like a great weekend across Adelaide. Bit cool to start with on Saturday, an overnight low of 10, but warming up to 24 degrees on Saturday. Nice sunny day. A little bit of cloud around during the afternoon on Sunday, but otherwise looking like a great day and warming up nicely to 29 degrees. So, yeah, pretty warm finish to the weekend. Then on Monday, there is a change coming through, probably late Monday morning. So we'll see maximum temperature get up to around 27 degrees before that change arrives. But we'll certainly see cooler temperatures once that change goes through and the winds turn around to the southwest. So as we head into Tuesday, top of 21 degrees and likely to see the odd shower around as well on Tuesday. Dropping further on Wednesday down to 17 degrees and again the odd shower around, and then 18 for Thursday and looking like it's going to be mainly dry on Thursday. So, yeah, great weekend ahead. A little bit cooler as we head into the middle of next week and the odd shower around as well. But not looking at too much rainfall, maybe up to a couple of millimetres on each of those days, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Good on you, Vince. Thank you. Let's head to Safe Bowl. Senior Constable Matt Brown joins us. Matt, there's been a car fire at Dry Creek.
That's right, Will. It was called in just before 6 a.m. this morning on the north-south motorway at Dry Creek. It was a car on fire. MFS crews have brought the fire under control. One lane for city-bound traffic was affected. I think they're almost finished there at the scene, so roads should be clear fairly soon.
And Matt, a couple of rat bags to round out the segment. High-level drink driver first up, caught at Encounter Bay.
That's right, Dave. About 12:15 a.m. today, police were advised that a woman who appeared intoxicated had got in her car after leaving the Victor Harbour Hotel and driven off. Now, patrols were quickly on scene and caught up with the driver on Batty Road at Encounter Bay. And the driver, a 40-year-old local woman, underwent a breath test and returned a positive reading of 0.219, which is more than 4 times the legal limit. So she was arrested and charged with drink driving, driving under the influence and resisting arrest. She was bailed to appear in court at a later date, but her car was impounded for 28 days. She was issued a 12-month immediate loss of licence notice. So good work by patrols down there at Encounter Bay.
Indeed. And Matt, also an extreme speeder was caught in Freeling.
Yep, the other end of town, Dave. About 7:10 p.m. last night, patrols detected a white Ford Ranger ute travelling west on Hanson Street at 128 k's an hour in a 50k zone. Now, police stopped the vehicle soon after, and further checks revealed the ute was unregistered. The driver, a 19-year-old local man, was also the holder of a provisional licence. So he was reported for driving at an extreme speed, driving unregistered and other traffic offences as well. So he was also issued with a 12-month loss of licence notice, and his car was impounded for 28 days, and he'll be summoned to appear in court at a later date. So
128 in a 50 zone.
Yep. Ridiculous.
80 Ks, almost 80 Ks above the limit. Just extraordinary, Matt. And, of course, unregistered too. It never ceases to amaze. Good on you, mate. Matt Brown there from Sapole. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Will.
Well, it's a special finals edition of Ryan Fitzgerald on a Friday morning, thanks to Terrain Tamer Parabolic Leaf Springs for a comfortable ride in your four-wheel drive. TerrainTamer.com. Fitzy, good morning.
The sweet, sweet goodness and Pembo. Thanks for having me on, boys.
Mate, always a pleasure. Hey, we had a good chat yesterday, Fitzy, to Will's partner in crime there at Channel 7, Rosanna Mangiarelli. She's gone viral in a good way. She's made a power flan, which is a sort of pastry tart in honour of her beloved pair ahead of the GWS clash.
Put the flans out. It's gone viral.
Yeah, put your flans out. Only flans, they're calling it.
You got the Ted Flanders from The Simpsons there.
Fantastic.
Well, it's not a very masculine sort of dessert, is it, really, for the boys to fire up before the game?
Yeah, I would have thought, Paul, you'd want something a bit grittier, something a bit more, a bit less la-di-da. But it's taken the town by storm. Did you ever sort of go-to dish when you were playing with the cockle divers? Was there...
Mum used to make lamb's fry. So we used to have liver. We used to have liver that was for breakfast, Pembo.
Oh,
so
yum.
Mum used to, with the bacon gravy.
Oh, yeah, it's excellent.
It was magnificent. We tried to feed that to our two sons the other day, and we haven't seen them since. They've left home and run away. And I used to have lamb's fry. Dad used to have a steak before he played footy, which now they've done research on is the worst thing that you can do. To have a piece of red meat in your guts before you play. But lamb's fry was a big one for us.
Lamb's fry, it's like an instant protein injection, that stuff. Like it's very good for you, particularly if you've got an iron deficiency.
Oh, it was... See, as a kid, you don't know that it's liver. That's why they call it lamb's fry. I mean, if you didn't have the gravy and that sauce, I think if you looked at and realised what you were eating, it's actually quite disgusting.
You didn't keep that tradition going up to your Crows and Swans days, I hope, did you, mate?
No, you know what, Pembo? We got told by a nutritionist, we got taken to a supermarket and told what to buy and eat. And there was a lot of pasta and rice. I had to put on a lot of weight. So I got into the chicken tonight. Remember Golden Honey Mustard Chicken tonight?
I feel like chicken tonight.
I would eat that for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I absolutely adore that. So that was my signature dish, that and Canton.
Canton.
Fitzy, we'll get your tips, obviously, for the finals in a moment, but detecting a little bit of a... Port fans are losing a little bit of faith after last week and the game at the Gabba, despite the fact that I think they went in as massive underdogs, and everyone acknowledged that, but having seen it play out, sort of a sense around town there's some real concern about this game with GWS tomorrow night. You got any reassuring words, or what's the feeling there in Sydney?
Well, the main advantage that you have is the home ground advantage, and Port Adelaide play very, very well. So, do you know what? As the 19th man, and that's coming from another football club, you need to be the extra player out in the field and support your team. You can get the boys over the line. Without a doubt, look. To be honest, I think Giants do have a better side. They're playing better footy at the moment, but that home ground advantage is such a huge leg up. So get out there and support the boys and get them over the line, because you could be the difference.
I guess the weird thing with the Giants, I reckon they've got a competitive advantage, because even when they're playing at home, it doesn't feel like they've got a home ground advantage, because they just don't have many supporters. So they're used to never having anyone cheering for them.
No, it's unbelievable. When they made the grand final, remember they got pumped in the grand final a few years ago. they just don't have many supporters that, that grand final week, they just didn't have many people rocking up. I mean, it's getting a little bit more traction out here, and when you're targeting Western Sydney, you've got to get past the rugby league heartland, and it helps when Valentine Holmes takes a photo of a bag of white powder in his mouth. So, I mean, aren't they smart boys?
Oh yeah, I like his explanation. It was a zany prank.
I thought it was a mate taking the photo. No, it was him taking. That was a selfie, and he put it up on his own social media account.
Didn't really think that one through. Hey, mate, we'll get into the tips. So tonight, Melbourne v the Blue Baggers. Who do you like?
Yeah, I think Melbourne. Don't discount Melbourne, even for the grand. I still think they're a chance for the premiership. They should have. They had their chances against Collingwood. I think Collingwood are a standout, and they had their chances. So they'll beat Carlton tonight, and I still think that they could go all the way.
And at home, as you were alluding to before, mate, do you reckon Port can get up against the Giants?
It's going to be a really close one, Pembo. But, I think I'm just going to have to pick. If I'm tipping with my head, I think GWS will get over Port Adelaide.
Straight sets. Well, mate, we'll do it all again next week, mate, and get some of that lamb's fry in you.
No worries. Thanks, boys. Have a good weekend.
Good on you, Fitzy.
Yeah,
Thanks to Terrain Tamer Parabolic Leaf Springs for a comfortable ride in your four-wheel drive. TerrainTamer.com.
Gliderol Garage Doors have been manufacturing and installing doors in SA since 1974. From roller doors and sectional doors to customer designer doors and timber doors, the Gliderol range allows you to upgrade the street appeal of your home to any style. We also supply and install insulated sectional doors. Aside from the perfect smooth finish, insulated doors provide thermal and acoustic benefits. Call Gliderol on 1300 799 177 or visit gliderol.com.au.
Are you ready for massive Mazda savings? Mawson Lakes Mazda is having a huge demo clearance across the entire Mazda range. We are overstocked on current model Mazda demos that need to go. So be quick to snap up a demo deal in your favourite model and colour. There is no better time to take advantage of these amazing deals. Be quick, stocks won't last at these prices. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city, Salisbury Highway.
Sold by McGain again.
And look, because there's still limited stock, it is important to get along to these excellent open inspections.
So tomorrow from 11:30am to 12pm, Zoe Ball and Mike Dobbin are opening 25 Breckenbridge Drive, Ranella. This neat and complete, low-maintenance three-bedroom home is perfect for first home buyers, offering a large lounge room with floating floors, heating and cooling, updated kitchen and bathroom, undercover entertaining area, plus a huge shed with secure off-street parking, just $475 to $495K.
And then also tomorrow from 1 to 1:30pm, Zoe and Mike are opening 14A James Street, Ethelston. This beautifully presented circa 1910 home offers 3 bedrooms or 2 plus a formal lounge with 2 rooms featuring raw stone feature walls. There's open plan living, a renovated kitchen, bathroom and ensuite, plus a timber-decked entertaining area, low-maintenance garden with a fire pit area. How cool is that? $649 to $679K.
Take a look at these properties and all the McGain listings at mcgain.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 21. With the 7 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Keep in shape with physio-instructed clinical Pilates and gym classes at 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
A car has gone up in flames at Dry Creek this morning. MFS crews have brought the blaze under control on the north-south motorway. Police are investigating. And a teenager has lost his licence after being caught driving at extreme speed at Freeling last night. Senior Constable Matt Brown says he was caught doing 128 in a 50 zone on Hanson Street.
Further checks revealed the ute was unregistered. The driver, a 19-year-old local man, was also the holder of a provisional licence. He was reported for driving at an extreme speed, driving unregistered and other traffic offences as well. He was also issued with a 12-month loss of licence notice, and his car was impounded for 28 days, and he'll be summoned to appear in court at a later date.
A pedestrian has died in hospital following a crash at Salisbury last week. The 73-year-old man was hit by a vehicle outside a shopping centre on John Street. The driver of the car, a 70-year-old man, was not injured. Major crash officers are investigating. 80 people have now died on our roads compared to 53 at the same time last year. 2 women have been arrested and a man remains on the run after a serious assault in Toowoomba. Matt Hepworth reports.
Police say 2 women and a man deliberately set fire to another man in Harristown just before 10 Wednesday night. The victim suffered severe burns and stumbled into the nearby Stock Hotel for assistance. He was flown to the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital, where he remains in a serious but stable condition. Following extensive investigations, 2 women aged 35 and 31 have been arrested and charged with 1 count each of acts intended to cause grievous bodily harm. Investigations are continuing to locate the man involved.
US President Joe Biden's son, Hunter, has been criminally charged with 3 counts of lying when buying a firearm. The indictment marks the first time the child of a sitting US president has been criminally prosecuted. A planned plea bargain to resolve gun and tax-related charges he faced abruptly fell apart in July. A luxury cruise ship stranded in Greenland has been freed after 3 days stuck at sea. The Ocean Explorer, with 206 passengers on board, including 90 Australians, was pulled free by a fisheries research vessel at high tide. Doctors in Libya say emergency workers have lost their entire families in flooding, which has killed more than 5,000 people. At least 10,000 are still missing, with fears many are trapped under the rubble. Dr. Najib Tahoni says they desperately need more humanitarian aid.
People actually know what they're doing. We're trying to get the most help we can there and hope for the best. That's all what we can have right now. Just prayers and hope.
And the stadium where Kathy Freeman created Australian history now has a stand named after the Olympic legend. 23 years to the day after Freeman lit the Olympic cauldron to mark the start of the Sydney Games, the Eastern Grandstand has been renamed the Kathy Freeman Stand. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Get 10-year warranty and 10 years capped price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. GWS coach Adam Kingsley admits he's surprised the team has made it through to the second week of the finals. The Giants take on Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval tomorrow night. Kingsley says he always had great confidence in the group, but a semi-final berth was looking increasingly unlikely midway through the season.
At 3 and 7, did I think finals was possible? Yeah, I probably still thought it. Winning a final, yeah, maybe, but it was probably unlikely, to be fair. So it's been a great surprise, if you want to call it that. But again, once you reach finals, you're not quite satisfied with just making finals. You now want to win one, and we've won that, so now we want to win 2.
The Giants bring back Stephen Cornelio from an eye injury and the side will arrive this afternoon, while Port's players will have a light run at Alberton later this morning. Forward Charlie Dixon back in the team for his first game since round 20. And around 90,000 fans are expected to pack the MCG for tonight's clash between Melbourne and Carlton, and you can hear all the action live right here on 5AA. To cricket, Australia will be looking to wrap up the one-day series against South Africa with a win in Game 4 of their 5-match series at Centurion tonight. The Aussies were smashed in Game 3 by 111 runs, but still lead the series 2-1. Matilda's World Cup star Kyra Cooney-Cross is being chased by Women's Super League club Arsenal. In the Rugby World Cup, host nation France has made it 2 from 2, and that is despite fielding an understrength side. They still proved too strong for Uruguay, winning 27 points to 12. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
For your chance to win 100k, visit homelottery.com.au before September 15.
At Dry Creek, car fire and crash on the north-south motorway causing delays inbound. Also a breakdown around the same area too. Verdun, urgent electrical works on Mount Barker Road near the Verdun ramp roundabout, and Valley View road plates in use due to a hole in the road. Green Junction Road near Paul's Drive, speeds down to 40. Cameras this morning, Dyson Road, Christie's Beach and to Kettleville Terrace in the city. The Skoda demo clearance. It's the same high-end style, just with more experience and some money off. Visit your local Skoda dealer today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Mostly sunny and 21 today, sunny tomorrow 24, a sunny morning on Sunday 29 and then partly cloudy for Monday 27. At the moment 12. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
7 after 7, good morning to you if you're joining us for the very first time on this Friday morning. Our news wrap in just a moment. AFL Grand Final tickets aren't too far away either. 3 songs, 3 artists, you get them right, you're on the very, very short list to win the weekend of a lifetime. We're having so much fun with the meat tray this morning, thanks to Liam, Joanna and the team at my local butcher, Chanella's 62 Prospect Road at Prospect. We might just continue on with it.
Let's keep going.
This morning where we're trying to reimagine this song with an Australian theme.
Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny.
Some people have been nominating individuals or moments in Australian history of an import that means they would make a verse of an Australian version if we didn't start the fire. Other people have written whole verses. Whatever you'd like to do, in any way you'd like to contribute, 8223 text us on the Duttons text line. Fiona, good morning.
Good morning.
What's yours, Fiona?
Okay, so I've started with John Farnan, You're the Voice, Ruby Princess, Bad Choice, Cyclone Tracy, Norman Gunston, Melbourne Cup and Mardi Gras.
Oh, that is fantastic.
That is excellent. I got to say, I love the Norman Gunston reference. Norman Gunston, I don't know if you remember, Fiona, but he's standing in the background on the steps of Old Parliament House in Canberra when Gough Whitlam holds the famous well may we say God save the Queen because nothing will save the Governor-General.
None will save the Governor-General, that's right. I remember that.
And he's in the background with his brill-creamed hair and his blue smoking jacket.
Ruby Princess, Bad Choice. That's brilliant. Thank
what
you,
a terrible
Fiona.
story that was, Ruby Princess, that terrible cruise ship. That
Dean,
was excellent.
Dean, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We'll leave one with you. Holden cars and meat pies and perhaps meat trays. Aussie oi.
Meat tray. If we could get a meat tray,
Very apt.
that would be good, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Helen, good morning.
Good morning. Mine's sort of sporting and chronological, I hope.
Okay.
Far Lap, Mackay Beat Eva, Barty Kerr and Footy Fever.
Oh, that's lovely, Helen.
Beautiful, Helen. Sensational.
We had a few texts suggesting Far Lap would need to feature in the song somewhere.
Yeah,
so
completely.
that's a totally appropriate call.
I like this one from Ben Jordan. He says, if you do what Billy Joel did and you start from 1948 like the original, the first line could be Bradman retires, Menzies beats Chifley, Holden cars, Hills hoist, Korean War, Wool boom, Shirley Strickland. Shirley Strickland, athlete?
Athlete, yep.
Runner.
Runner.
That's right. Good stuff, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. 9 after 7. Keep them coming in. 0448081395. The Duttons text line with a huge range of vehicles available on the hills in Murray Bridge. Duttons can deliver right now. To the news wrap of the morning. Let's start internationally, out of the United States. As Chopper might have said in the movie, the eponymous movie, Hunter Biden's done himself a mischief. Have a listen to this.
Over misrepresentations that the prosecutors say he made during the purchase of a handgun. A Cobra Colt is what it's called, and was detailed in this 4-page indictment released today. What he's essentially charged with is 3 different counts. 1, for making a misrepresentation on the form around his use of illegal drugs while he was purchasing it. When you do that in the United States, you have to say, I'm not using any illegal drugs. The prosecutor's saying he was at the time and lied about it on the form. The second charge is that he lied to the employee in the store. And then the third charge is around the possession of the firearm. They're saying he shouldn't have had it, and so the fact he was keeping it in his possession when he knew he shouldn't have been is a charge in and of itself.
That's Annalise Nielsen from Sky News. The illegal procurement of a firearm in this manner in this part of the United States carries a maximum sentence of 25 years. First, as you heard Annalise describe, and you've heard Kendall over the course of the morning in 5AA News say, first child of a sitting president to be charged with a felony. It's a serious accusation.
He's had his problems, Hunter Biden, hasn't he? I've never quite got to the bottom of the whole Ukraine thing, but he was
essentially the broad strokes, top line accusation against him is that he sold access.
Yeah,
to Joe Biden
and traded on his father's name,
traded on his name,
and
said I can get things done for you if you give me money and so forth.
Because for all of our admiration for Vladimir Zelensky, his government has not been without its corruption issues. In fact, only last week he sacked one of his senior ministers who was on the take. I think
the defence
minister
got sacked last week.
Yeah. And he was under a cloud.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, massive issues. But yeah, Hunter Biden, the accusation's always been there's this tranche of documents and evidence that suggests that was his business model. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but the guy's never had a job.
In the weird and sort of superheated world of American politics, it seems to be one of these sort of Trump v. Biden type surrogate ideological wars that people have on Fox News and that, where it's like, oh, you said that about Donald Trump. What about Hunter Biden?
Yeah. Well, we see it with the impeachment proceedings against Joe Biden now, where it seems now to be a matter of course in US politics that if the president's party doesn't control the House of Representatives, the House, they will always launch impeachment proceedings against the president.
I think the good thing for Joe Biden, though, is by the time it actually sort of all comes to a head, he'll probably have no idea what's happening.
Oh, and his party controls the Senate, so it'll never...
If that press conference the other day was anything to go by, I don't know about you, I'm going to bed.
God almighty. It feels like we're living in an alternate reality.
Does it ever?
It does. It holds true, too, for this next news story, then, because now we're at a point in human history where NASA and the US government openly talk about UFOs. This has sort of happened over the past 12 months, and no one's really noticed. But it's just something that happens normally now. NASA held a press conference overnight where they've released data of a probe into hundreds of UFO. They don't call them UFOs anymore. They call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. 36-page report, the point of which was basically to say, what are we going to do with this stuff now? And they've committed to having a formal reporting mechanism and using artificial intelligence to assess the credibility of reports, but also to be totally transparent about what they've found. Here is Bill Nelson, the NASA administrator.
The top takeaway from the study is that there is a lot more to learn. The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. But we don't know what these UAP are.
Yes, the answer being we don't know that they're alien, but we don't not know that they're alien will seem to be the ultimate takeaway from this.
Did you see that nutty guy in Mexico yesterday who turned up with his two
the corpses.
Alien corpses? They look like they'd been made at the Plaster Funhouse on Goodwood Road.
Looked like Jim Henson had made them.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the guy had seen E.T. and got a few mates together and some plaster.
Apparently he is some...
Yeah, come on, let's see if we can make some aliens.
I think he's a UFO fantasist.
He's a journalist, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's proffered a host of theories in the past that have proven not to be true. So people are pretty sceptical about this one.
Good place to do it, though, Mexico, because there's a lot of those Mayan pyramids do really weird things where, like, on like the equinox, like the sun will come in this perfect little hole and illuminate the entire area. Like they knew quite a bit about astronomy.
Did he present them in Parliament too?
Yeah, he got like.
See, I reckon that would be
equivalent of doing it before the Standing Works Committee or Public Works Committee or something like that.
I just have a feeling that would be ruled out of order in Australian Parliament.
Not allowed to table an alien, I don't think, on North Terrace. The member for Hyson is warned. Do not bring an alien into the chamber again. You have been named.
What do you think Australia's population is right now? It's a news story that came out yesterday.
28.3.5 million or so.
No, we just hit essentially 26.5 million, 26.473. It's grown over 500,000 people over the last 12 months. That is Australia's population, 563,000. The natural growth rate in the absence of immigration is about 1/5 of that. It's about 108,000. So the vast majority of Australia's growing population is immigration. To give you some indication, the natural increase is down nearly 20% on the previous year. So Australia's growing as slowly as ever when it comes to the birth rate, but
we're breeding more slowly.
We're breeding more slowly.
Does that suggest that during lockup there are a few people who are thinking, well, we're going to be here for a while, how about it?
Yeah, possibly.
And slackened off since then?
There's been a bit of a lag effect.
Rather coarse fashion. But
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable assessment of this. Western Australia had the fastest growing population of 2.8%, Victoria 2.4%, Queensland 2.3%, the ACT, then New South Wales, then SA. We're only ahead of the Northern Territory and Tasmania in terms of our growth rate.
Which also goes to the ageing population here in Adelaide. This is the thing. Like, people say, "Oh, Adelaide's perfect. We don't need any more people." You look at that intergenerational report. By the year 2070, we're all going to be living to 93 or something like that. We're going to need someone here to look after us because we're not going to be physically capable of looking after ourselves.
Someone needs to be working and paying tax.
That's right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're Japan.
Exactly right.
Only with less karaoke bars. Sadly.
Let's check traffic thanks to Keezer. Tired of back pain? Time to try Keezer. KIESER.com.au.
At Dry Creek, look out for a car fire and crash on the north-south motorway causing delays inbound. Also a breakdown around the same area too. Verdun, urgent electrical works on Mount Barker Road near the Verdun Ramp roundabout. While at Valley View, road plates in use due to a hole in the road. Grand Junction Road near Paul's Drive, speeds at 40. Busy Brighton Road at Glenelg East with the Camera Chandler's Hill Road at Happy Valley. Welcome in the weekend with a pork one-pan wonder tonight, like the deliciously simple, cheesy Mexican bake. Yum! Find the recipe at pork.com.au and get some pork on your fork. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
2 people in hospital mauled so badly in a dog attack in a Brompton home. I just don't get why people have dogs like that. Dr. Derek McNair, what sort of dog do you have? What's the vet have?
We've got Freddie, who's a little poodle cross Maltese.
Weekday mornings from 9.
Who sadly was very badly abused by a horrible, horrible person.
On 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
The 48-hour event is now on at Audi Solitaire. Unprecedented offers on select new vehicles in stock and demonstrators for immediate delivery. Visit Audi Solitaire before time runs out. The 48-hour event ends Saturday 5 p.m. Audi Solitaire, Blair Road, Hawthorn.
South Australia boasts many one-of-a-kind destinations, but only one has the best local produce, super specials, cheap eats, pantry essentials and more. With over 70 traders under one roof, the Adelaide Central Market has something for everyone. It's open every Tuesday to Saturday with late-night trading Friday, plus live music and free kids' activities on Saturday. If you can't visit the market, order online for home delivery every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. AdelaideCentralMarket.com.
Now, this is pretty urgent. You've got until midnight tonight to be in 5 draws to win $100K payday.
So hop to it. That's $100,000 that could be yours just by getting your Hospital Research Foundation home lottery tickets by midnight tonight.
Plus, you'll stay in the draw for the biggest grand prize ever, a choice between the $5 million Hyde Park grand prize or $4.5 million in cash.
That'd be a nice choice to ruminate over. The $5 million grand prize is a designer family home in Hyde Park. Comes fully furnished, so you can move right in and $100,000 in the bank.
But if the mortgage-free life in Hyde Park isn't what you're after, you can take $4.5 million in cash and live the life you've always imagined. Do not miss out. Get your home lottery tickets by midnight tonight to be in the draw. Visit homelottery.com.au.
Maccas are all about sourcing great Aussie produce. Beef, 100% Aussie. Chicken, RSPCA approved and 100% Aussie too. This has to be the Aussiest ad ever. Changing for the better, we're on it. See our website for details.
Come on in.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 85 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
It's not just the ute you want, it's the ute you need. The Mitsubishi Triton Ute. Current top-of-the-range Mitsubishi Triton GSR and GLS double-cab utes are in stock now. Every Triton comes with Australia's only 10-year new car warranty and 10 years cap price servicing. It means worry-free motoring now and well into the future. T's and C's apply. Visit your local Mitsubishi Motors dealership today while stocks last. Nothing can frighten a Triton.
This is RB Day with more tales from the bedroom thanks to Supercraft Bedding. I remember it was in the early 60s and Supercraft Bedding was asked to build a bed for the Queen for her stay at Government House. We earned the Royal Seal for that. Very fancy. And we are still building beds for queens and kings, just more of the local legend variation. This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding, building better beds at 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
21 after 7. Let's have a little spin of the AFL Grand Final 2 competition, shall we, on this Friday morning. Early chance for someone to win. You got to name 3 songs, 3 artists. These 3 songs were all performed Grand Final entertainment of yesteryear. 8223 0055 is the number. Here's the music.
Wrap around, take a hold. The girl became a woman on a long and dusty road.
I met a strange lady. She made me nervous.
8223 0055 is the number. Get calling now, and we'll give someone a chance. In fact, I think...
That's hard. The first one I've got the song but not the singer. Second one I've got the singer but not the song. And the third one, I think...
Let's go to Old Ranella. Quentin was the first person to call through. Quentin, good morning to you.
Morning, fellas. How you doing?
Good, thanks, Quentin.
I reckon this is really tough today.
Bloody oath it is.
Do you want to hear it again, Quentin?
Oh, I'd love to, because I didn't hear him at the start.
Yeah, that makes it even harder if you haven't heard the songs.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Wrap around, take a hold. The girl became a woman on a long and dusty road.
I met a strange lady. She made me nervous.
All right, Quentin, what do you think?
Oh, the 3 singers were Humphrey Bear, Fat Cat and Winky Dink. Got no idea, guys.
Bad luck, Quentin.
Oh, mate. Missed it by this much.
Nice try. You did well getting through first. Just didn't get the songs.
Nice to chat, though, mate.
Yeah, it was good to catch up. We'll have another chance to win after 8 o'clock today. Time to talk sport, thanks to the excellent $17 Schnitty Monday to Wednesday. You can get at the Albion, Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a baro.
Speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Geneva.
Tim Geneva on 5AA Breakfast.
Timmy G!
24 after 7, do or die clash tomorrow night. Port's final home game at Adelaide Oval for season 2023. Timmy, are you confident?
How about playing that song before the grand final? I'll tell you what, that'll get the boys
Timmy
up.
out there performing.
Yeah, look, it's one of those things. The build-up has been reasonably slow for me. It's got to today. The sun is out. It just is searing. I'm feeling like finals are here for real, and it's going to be exciting at Adelaide Oval Saturday night. Look, I think as the weeks build up, I've felt more confident in what's happening. We know that there's going to be some boys in that Port Adelaide side that are still carrying things. Mackenzie, Aaliyah, you got Dixon coming back after, nearly 7 weeks into that team. So you know that they're carrying some bits and pieces. We just, I think we've got our fingers crossed going, let's make sure that they get through. If they do, I think Port will win this game.
The Giants are a hard team to read, though, aren't they, Tim? Because we've got a theory here that they play so well when they travel because no one ever really barracks for them when they're at home. So they've got, because they never have a home ground advantage or a home fan base of any note, they don't really care if they're at Marvel or down in Tassie or here in Adelaide. And they've got a good record here too, haven't they?
It's not as if they're missing the roar of the crowd, is what you're going to. I think
That's
you're right
right.
there, and you did right. Look, they've managed, I think, to win on 11 different venues. So it's not as if they've not travelled around the countryside and not been able to win. They can do that. Their one thing in the back of their head would be they got beat by 51 points by Port and at Adelaide Oval. And I think that particular game is the only game really they've lowered their colours in probably 12 weeks. So they're in ripping form. They've got a really tough, hard, young midfield that goes well. They've got a ruckman who's only 22 who is like a dirty great big farmer who's picked up 7 hays of bale, bale of hays on his back and throwing them over the truck. He's huge, Briggs. So there's going to be a lot of challenges there. I think for Port, got to get a fast start. You've got to be accurate. You've got to hit that scoreboard because then you bring the crowd into it. Like last week, they were trying to take the crowd out. They've got to bring the crowd in.
What did you make of selection, Timmy? Jeremy Finlayson, leading goal kicker, drops out for Charlie Dixon. Ollie Law just created some real headaches for Ken Hinkley last week, didn't he, by playing really, really well?
Yeah, I reckon. I remember the great Stephen Williams, Mark's brother. I'd played with Stephen my whole career, and Stephen coached. And I can remember we were talking about people who are unlucky not to get selected. And Stephen, in his very sharp and brutal nature, said, if you're good enough, you get picked. And it was very accurate. What's happened here is Finlayson's played himself out of the team. So you can't go, oh, the selectors picked on me. No. What have you done the past month? You've played yourself out of the team. So to get yourself back in, you're going to have to do something special. So, yeah, look, that is, everybody's been sort of saying, look, the form line has just been decreasing. And in the end, for the team to win, you got to perform. So they've gone, well, you know what? We think we've got a better option.
Tim, who do you like tonight, Melbourne or Carlton?
I actually think Carlton.
Oh,
and I
really?
know that
Wow.
people are probably... The only thing that will stop Carlton is Carlton themselves. And why do I say that? I saw them last week control a game and then almost freeze up and lose it.
Yeah.
And that's their one issue at the moment. And for Carlton fans, I'm hoping that winning that game has sort of broken, the disbelief that's been there for a decade. But Melbourne they got a few players out. They're a little bit banged up. They've had a really, what you would say, distressing week with the Brayshaw incident. And so it could affect them more mentally than physically. But Carlton are on an incredible... If you've seen their run into the finals, it's all WWWs, 1L and W into the final. And you go, that is form going into finals. So I think Carlton, if they get their normal start that they do, they've then just got to have the mental capacity to hang on.
Good on you, Timmy.
Thanks, Tim.
Good on you, boys.
Speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Geneva.
Tim Geneva on 5AA Breakfast.
Thanks to the Barrow Hotels, $17 Schnitty Monday to Wednesday. The Albion, Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a Barrow Hotel. We'll be talking more footy with Arazio Fantasia in the next half hour on the program. And YSA Power Networks are warning that they're going to be turning out the lights over this hot summer to come. That's next on 5AA Breakfast.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
It's easy to get behind the wheel of a new Mawson Lakes Volkswagen right now. In fact, it's ridiculously easy. All you need to do is head to the showroom on Salisbury Highway, check out the range of new and demo Volkswagens on sale now, and then pick your favourite. How easy is that? All stock is ready for immediate delivery, with easy finance options available. And remember our next day servicing. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
When it comes to the freshest fruit and veg, meat, seafood, bread, pastries, small goods, coffee and cheese in Adelaide, and also some of the best restaurants, the choice is simple.
Adelaide Central Market is South Australia's home of the best local produce, super specials, cheap eats and pantry essentials. There is something for everyone.
Whenever we do this out on a Friday, I feel like going in there and getting the hockey and me for lunch. They're open every Tuesday to Saturday with late night trading Friday, plus live music and free kids stuff to do on Saturdays.
And if you can't make it to the market, simply order online for home delivery every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday.
Support local and shop at the excellent Adelaide Central Market. Nothing like it anywhere in Australia. 70 traders under the one roof.
Visit AdelaideCentralMarket.com.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 21 with the 7:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
A luxury cruise ship carrying 90 Australians has finally been freed after 3 days stuck in the mud on the edge of Greenland. The Ocean Explorer and its 206 passengers were pulled to safety by a research trawler. Passenger Elizabeth has told the Today Show it was quite the operation to free the ship.
We were all required to go to the forward 8th deck while the rescue ship secured a tow line to the rear. The anchor was placed in the water, and apparently there's some sort of tension and traction between the anchor and the vessel, which managed to slide us off the mud bank.
The son of US President Joe Biden has been indicted on federal gun charges. More from US correspondent Alison Bachowski.
Hunter Biden has been charged with 3 counts of lying when buying a firearm when he was a drug user. Court documents show that Biden lied on the federally mandated forms as he purchased a revolver at a Delaware gun store in October 2018. He kept the gun for 11 days. This is the first time in US history a sitting president's son or daughter has been criminally charged. It comes after a planned plea deal fell apart in July. It is likely the president's son will go to trial next year in the middle of his father's campaign for re-election. If convicted, Hunter Biden faces a maximum penalty of 25 years in prison.
2 women have been charged after a man was doused in petrol and set alight in Toowoomba. The 26-year-old victim suffered severe burns in the attack and remains in hospital. The women, aged 35 and 31, have been charged with acts intended to cause grievous bodily harm. A teenage driver's been caught doing more than double the speed limit at Freeling. Police clocked his ute at 128 k's an hour in a 50 zone in Hanson Street. The ute was also unregistered. The 19-year-old local man was also the holder of a provisional licence. He's been reported for extreme speed, driving unregistered and other traffic offences. He's lost his licence for 12 months and his car has been impounded. Senator Jacinta Price has taken aim at the Yes campaign for not listening to remote Indigenous communities. More from Reece D'Alessandro in Canberra.
In a fierce and fiery speech to the National Press Club, Jacinta Price criticised the Yes campaign for what she believes is a failure to listen to Aboriginal Australians in remote communities. But it's her comments on colonisation that have stirred controversy. The senator challenging widely held views of Indigenous disadvantage by saying there are no ongoing impacts from colonisation on Indigenous Australians. Her counterpart, Indigenous Australians Minister Linda Burney, has described her comments as a betrayal. Jacinta Price also repeatedly declined to back opposition leader Peter Dutton's plan for a second referendum.
A jumper worn by Princess Diana has sold for more than $1 million after frenzied bidding at auction. The red jumper, covered in a flock of white sheep with a single black sheep, was worn by Diana when she was 19 and newly engaged to Prince Charles. The auction house had estimated it would fetch around $80,000. It went for 14 times that. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Get 10-year warranty and 10 years capped price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide has dropped Jeremy Finlayson and Dylan Williams. That's for tomorrow's knockout final against GWS at Adelaide Oval. Both players have been named as emergencies, meaning one could still be the sub for the match. Forward Charlie Dixon comes into the side for his first game in more than a month. The Giants will be looking to turn around the result from round 22 when they were smashed by 51 points at Adelaide Oval. Assistant coach Brett Montgomery telling Rowie and Timmy G the Powers midfield took hold the last time they met.
Port Adelaide, as we all know, and you guys well know, have probably got the best midfield in the game. They've got leg speed, they've got power, they've got some big bodies, they've got all bases covered. And we will have to be at our absolute best around the ball, which clearly we didn't fire a shot last time.
And Brodie Grundy has been overlooked again for Melbourne as they take on Carlton at the MCG tonight. Well, Australia will try to wrap up the one-day series against South Africa when Game 4 begins tonight in Centurion. Meantime, on the back of Cricket Australia making neck guards mandatory from next month, Australia's Josh Inglis says he's always found the guards uncomfortable.
I haven't worn one, just purely the fact when they first started coming out and people started wearing them, I didn't like the way it rested on my neck, and I just haven't worn them. But if they're mandatory, I'm just going to have to get used to it.
The Aussies lead that 5-match series 2-1. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
For your chance to win 100k, visit homelottery.com.au before September 15.
At Dry Creek, car fire and crash on the north-south motorway causing delays inbound. Also a breakdown around the same area too. Verdun, urgent electrical works on Mount Barker Road near the Verdun ramp roundabouts, and Valley View road plates in use due to a hole in the road. Grand Junction Road near Paul's Drive. Busy Brighton Road at Brighton with a camera this morning, Main South Road at Hackham. Want a crazy deal for your bathroom reno? Drop into Beaumont's Clearance Centre Richmond for back-to-wall toilet suites from just $350, plus heaps of in-store specials. Be quick. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Mostly sunny and 21 today, sunny tomorrow 24, a sunny morning on Sunday 29 and then partly cloudy for Monday 27. At the moment 13. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Hi, it's Jacinta Numbajimba Price. We all want to help Indigenous Australians in disadvantaged communities. But this voice is not the answer. We don't know how it would work. And once it opens the door to activists, we don't know what comes next. What we do know is, once it's in the Constitution, it risks legal challenges and will permanently divide us. This voice is risky, divisive and permanent. So if you don't know, vote no.
Authorised by AMA Liberal Adelaide.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Circare Clinical Research Alliance in Adelaide is looking for people who experience migraines and headaches for a clinical trial. Visit painmedsa.com and click research today.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
22 to 8, John Blake coming up before 8 o'clock. In a total coincidence, he's going to be on brand with the meat tray today. He's done his own. We didn't start the fire, but his is Port Adelaide themed. Ours is Australian history themed. If you've got more suggestions for a verse, keep sending them through. So many great ones coming from the Duttons text line. You can call us as well on 8223 0000 or jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream.
What about this one?
There.
Maggie Beer, good old Coopers, Will Goodings, Pea Supers. That's from Peter in Moonta Bay.
Well, that's not winning, Peter.
I'm voting for it.
I don't know. I didn't see how this one was going to be a vehicle for ridicule, but here we are. That's excellent. Well done, Peter. Very good. All right, Paul Roberts from SA Power Networks joins us on 5AA Breakfast with a warning about design power outages that we're going to see a fair bit more of this coming summer. Paul, good morning to you.
How you going, guys?
We're going well, thanks, Paul. Now, it was out on the West Coast yesterday. Quite a few towns were affected by these outages. We're expecting a hotter summer. Should we be expecting more of these outages too?
Well, look, I think it's possible. The Bureau and the CFS are both, looking at the conditions that we're facing this summer, where after 3 years of really good rains, and the La Nina effect, we've got a lot of vegetation has grown. We're now expecting a dry summer, potentially an El Nino effect, where that's going to cure and dry. Hotter summer. We've already seen over probably the last 5 or so years, we seem to have some pretty significant bushfires, and in the conditions that we had yesterday on the West Coast, the CFS people, despite all their efforts, wouldn't probably been able to stop it given the winds. So, when you see those sort of conditions, and particularly this time of year when perhaps we're less prepared as a community and properties haven't been, fully prepared for the start of the fire season, we took basically an urgent decision because the conditions on the West Coast actually reached catastrophic around Ceduna, stretching down towards Streaky Bay, and we took an urgent decision to remotely disconnect about 2,500 customers because of those conditions and the concern about the potential for a fire start that results in a fire that is difficult to control for the CFS.
So what's the broad framework you look at when making a decision to disconnect customers, Paul? Is it so it's catastrophic fire danger? Is it a certain level of wind as well? What are the sort of risk factors you look at?
Yeah, look, it's a mix. So it's the top end of the extreme and into the catastrophic fire conditions where we would look to disconnect. The decision is made on the basis, yes, of certainly the winds, the humidity. Look, there's what's called now that's shared nationally as a single national approach called the Fire Behaviour Index, which covers the state of the fuel on the ground, the type of that fuel, the wind, the heat, the humidity, and we take that scale into account. That got up to about 86, which is very high, and there was winds of about 85 kilometres an hour. It was very gusty. And I think the proof of the pudding, in a way, for us was that customers, when we contacted them to let them know through SMS and by social media, they seemed very comfortable with what we did and thanked us for actually taking the action.
Whose responsibility is it to control vegetation that grows around power infrastructure? Because I imagine a lot of people would find it extraordinary that the solution isn't cutting back the vegetation and not turning off the power.
Well, this is the challenge we have in South Australia. We have a lot of vegetation growing under power lines, and we do trim those to specific legislated clearances, but we're not allowed to touch any tree, any branch outside that clearance zone. And if you think about power lines run across properties, they run across rural properties, they run even in, along the edges of forests, etc. There's a lot of potential fuel that's beyond the reach of us to trim. And there's really not a community appetite for that, by the way. I mean, the other thing we've seen over many years is the community wants us to kind of balance the issues of risk, cost, to actually do the trimming and, aesthetics.
Well, it's good
it's a balancing act.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think people get it.
If you look at the transmission lines, they're cleared about 40 metres each side, But the distribution network runs through all parts of the community. It's very much down the streets of rural towns. It's through farm properties. It's really very much in the community, and people want their community to be to look good.
Yeah, and people get the bushfire link as well. Good explanation.
That's right.
Yeah, Paul Roberts there from SA Power Networks. Thanks very much for joining us this morning.
8223 is our number. You can text us, of course, too, on the Duttons text line. Today is International Day of the Tradie. Were you aware of this?
No.
If you know a great local tradie, want to give them a plug, call or text through to the show. All thanks to Mates in Construction, helping to save lives in the construction industry. Mates looking out for mates. You got a good tradie? Everyone, if you don't know a good tradie, you need a friend who knows a good tradie.
I don't know bad tradies. I don't know why people say, those tradies.
But I think by people good, people don't necessarily mean because they're all bad. Just that there's someone you feel comfortable with calling or
I saw a tradie yesterday. Mark, the tree guy, came round. G'day, Mark, if you're listening. I know he's a keen listener to the show, but he's an excellent bloke, Mark. He's helped me out over the years with some wayward trees that were in the way, and keeps an eye on our majestic gum tree that we would never chop down, but occasionally it's had a few dodgy branches that he's removed. You need a good relationship with your tradies.
Yeah, absolutely. Good line of work to get in at the moment too. There's a massive shortage. 16 minutes to 8. We're going to take a break. We'll check traffic and come back with Arazio Fantasia. We'll talk finals footy in just a moment. Keezer, if you're tired of back pain, time to try Keezer, KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will. A Dry Creek car fire and crash on the North-South motorway causing delays inbound. Also a breakdown around the same area too. Verdun, urgent electrical works on Mount Barker Road near the Verdun Ramp roundabout, and Valley View Road plates and news covering a nasty hole in the road there. Green Junction Road near Paul's Drive. Busy Main North Road at Enfield with the Camera Briar Road at Felixstowe. Ariscarf's 4-day forensic exclusive sale is on now. 50% off all quilts, pillows, sheets and mattress toppers. Exclusions apply. End Sunday. Ariscarf. Great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hey, Dad. The posties are back.
Oh, yeah? How many this time?
1, 2, 3. About 8. They're staring at our driveway. Should I let the dog out?
Nah, let them look a little longer.
Now they're taking selfies with it.
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round.
Thinking of getting a solar battery? Well, sadly, they're not going to get cheaper like we thought 10 years ago. But the ability to pay them off is incredibly easier now than it was back then. I recommend getting in touch with NRG Solar to get a battery for your home with a 10-year warranty, blackout protection that will save you thousands of dollars, all visible on a simple-to-use app. Enjoy the feeling and benefits of owning a solar battery sooner. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
It's one of the hardest and most complex decisions you can make, deciding on the future well-being of your parents.
Well, the good news is that you can find all the information you need in one place in the 2023 Aged Care Guide.
It's absolutely free, and you'll find information on all aged care homes, home care providers, placement consultants, my aged care information, including financial support services, to give you a better understanding of costs.
Plus a comprehensive list of providers of these services to enable you to choose the best provider that suits your situation.
Other features include types of care available, the ins and outs of short-term care, applying for funding, and much more. For your free copy of the 2023 Aged Care Guide, call 1300 186 688 to have it delivered free to your door. That's 1300 186 688.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
The 48-hour event is now on at Audi Solitaire. Unprecedented offers on select new vehicles in stock and demonstrators for immediate delivery. Visit Audi Solitaire before time runs out. The 48-hour event ends Saturday 5 p.m. Audi Solitaire, Blair Road, Hawthorn.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
Arazio Fantasia, intercepted almost by Arazio Fantasia. Arazio Fantasia, Arazio Fantasia, Arazio Fantasia, Arazio. Ho, 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 it's magic.
Crunch time, AFL season, finals footy in the air with more stores close to home and everyday low prices. Great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. Raz, good morning to you.
Morning, guys.
How you feeling, mate? You nervous for the boys, or do you think they're going to get the job done?
Always a little bit nervous when you're not out there playing, definitely, because you can't control anything.
I was going to say, does it make it harder? Because I know you're a big watcher of footy. Do you find like if you're out there, you're in the moment, you're lost in what's happening on the field, but when you're just sitting there, you know, in the stand,
I think when you're out there, you feel like you can control stuff a little bit more. You know, you can help set up and do things like that and actually impact the game. But when you're just watching, it's definitely harder. But I think our best football is more than good enough to win on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
GWS, they travel well and they like Adelaide Oval. And they looked good last week against the Saints. They just blitzed them.
Yeah, they did. They really play that sort of turnover game and they like to run back at you. They've got some pretty skilled players, you know, Whitfield and Ash down back, and their midfielders are stacked, and then they're kicking it to bloody Toby Green. So, you know, they're pretty dangerous all over the ground.
Yeah, and they love playing at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
That said, you beat them just recently.
We did, yeah.
You know, the template is there. I found it really bizarre. I'm sure it doesn't even feel at the club, but amongst supporters, the nerves of this week, and maybe it's just the stakes, but yeah, last week was a blemish in a game that you guys were massive underdogs, but before that, the form's been pretty solid. I'm not sure where the nervousness comes from.
I think it's just, you know, all fans and even at the club, like, you know, we probably didn't want to lose that way and by that much. And that's where the probably nerves come from. You don't want to, you know, no one wants to lose two finals in a row, so that's probably where more nerves come from. But I mean, we really doubled down on that blueprint from 4 weeks ago in our opposition, and that's how we want to play again, because we won by 50 points, I think, last time.
Yeah, totally. How do you reckon Charlie's going to go? We saw him in here. I was chatting to him the other morning when he was coming in to record his driving show with Sam, our producer Sam Datto, and he said this was before the Brisbane game. He knew he wasn't going to be ready for that, but he was hoping to be ready for Saturday.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good last night at training, I think. For someone who hasn't, you know, trained an awful lot due to that foot, he was running around and taking marks and kicking goals, so he looks pretty good, ready to go.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins tonight?
Oh, I honestly think Melbourne are probably one of the teams to beat in the final series. I know they lost last week, but
they probably should have won,
shouldn't they? They probably should have. They dominated, so... I mean, but I love Carlton. I love Vossi. He's such a, you know, he was at the club for a long time and got along really well with him. So you know, I'm hoping for Vossi they can get it done.
Carlton must be the most, like, they do your head in if you're barracking for them, because like when they're on, they're superb, but they can just switch off as they did in that final quarter. They almost totally stuffed it up last week.
I feel like last week they were almost playing not to lose the game, rather than the first 3 quarters they were playing to win, and they were going, and then they just went a little bit conservative, which is fair enough. You're in front, you never want to lose. So yeah.
What was your assessment, Alv, and what was the sort of general players' vibe on the whole Braden Maynard incident that dominated the news cycle this week?
Yeah, I think we haven't really spoken about it. I think this is probably just going to be my opinion.
That's all right.
More than anything, but I feel like it was a footy act. Like I really don't think he was trying to knock him out and do any, harm to him. So that's probably my opinion, I think.
I was a bit of a ponce about it. I was sitting here going, no, left me deeply troubled. Will is with you, but I would have to admit, all the footballers I've heard have given the same answer you have, Raz.
Yeah. I mean, if he was on the ground and he didn't jump and he ran straight through him, probably a different story. But the fact that he was in the air and he just came down and tried to protect himself, I don't think he was.
Do you reckon you guys, generally as a cohort of professionals, are done a disservice by slow motion?
Yes.
I reckon
makes everything look worse, doesn't it?
Everything gets slowed down. I'm not even just talking, incidents where people collide, but decisions that get made, or a handball option that's not taken, or a fumble. You slow it down and it looks like, we had an eternity, but, very few of us have had the option of opportunity to be out there and seeing how quickly these things happen.
Yeah, and the pressure you're under, so you just want to make a decision straight away, and often it's your first one, but it could be the wrong one.
That's
but
right.
You've already made it, so yeah, it happens.
Well, mate, good luck tomorrow night. It's going to be a massive night. And where do you sit when you're there?
We've got a little media box just above the goal, so we'll be up there.
Oh, in the southern stand. Yeah, right. Of course. Excellent.
When can we talk about my new coffee haunt?
Coming soon.
Coming soon. All right.
The new coffee haunt.
Yeah. Oh, well. I know.
You
guys have been working on a side hustle.
No, I'm not. I'm working on a place to go to that's someone else's side hustle. Like I know.
Really?
Might be opening something down our way. Western suburbs.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Coming soon.
Can't say too much yet.
Any Italian food as well?
There might be some, paninis on the menu.
Oh, I'm already hungry. It's just, I cannot wait. It's superb. Good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
On you, mate.
We'll chat again next week. Arazio Fantasia, thanks to the Foodland. What's happened?
Get that man a glass of water.
Oh, dear. He's choked. Oh, that would be a disaster.
Hopefully that's not an omen, mate.
I hope not as well.
Thanks to Foodland.
We'll get you a drink, mate.
The mighty South Aussies with more stores close to home at everyday low prices. Great food lives at Foodland. It's time for John Blake, thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, interstate freight distribution, warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 64.
Yes, good morning. Well, this week we're still talking about where to put the police greys. Or have we decided where to put them? I'm not sure. It's the horses are horses, and of course we're looking for somewhere to put all the horses. But when we suggest a place to put them, someone will object. Sit down and have social intercourse and ignore all the parkland protection reports and go back to your original thoughts and put this thing to bed. Magnificent greys, police on board to ward off all our fears. This crap upsets Commissioner Stevens and steam comes out of his ears. You can't put the horses at Jepp's Cross, it's stupid and too far away, of course. By the time they get into town on a horse, the baddies will have fled. Yeah, I think we've used Mr. Ed before for a politician a few years back. The only other thing going on this week is the Power are in a final, and it's on Saturday night against the Giants. I mean, it's South Australia against Sydney, so why wouldn't everybody get behind the Power?
Travis Boak, Willem Drew, we know what Ollie Lord can do. Jason Burgoyne, Ryan Burton, Darcy Burne-Jones. Sam Palpepper, he's a star. Charlie Dixon and his cars. Bryn Teakle, Quinton Knuckle and Arazio. Horn, Francis, what a find. Trent McKenzie, Ollie Wines, Georgiades, Dylan Williams, Jed McEntee. Scotty Lycett back in time. This is not a nursery rhyme. Premiers we want to be, so ring a Rosie. We all should support the Power. Though it might seem alien, they are South Australian. So let's all get behind the Power. It's not rocket science if we beat the Giants. Finlayson and Bergman, Dersma has a big plan. Try and catch him if you can. Xavier's the arrow man. Willie Rioli they fear. What a cracking fruity year. You can't mark interfere. That's why we have a leer. We all should support the power. Putting it succinctly, do it for Ken Hinkley. So let's all get behind the power. If you don't take part, it might just tear us apart. Zach Butters, he can't wait. Make Todd Marshall concentrate. All your other teammates are hoping that you kick them straight. We all should support the power. Though it might seem alien, they are South Australian. So let's all get behind the power. It's not rocket science if we beat the Giants.
John Blake's own answer to the GWS video that went out, appealing to Crows fans to don the high vis and cheer on the Giants.
Doesn't seem to be working yet. There's plenty of tickets available. Well, Crows fans going out there barracking for the Giants.
It's probably at a cost point that's slightly above going for a bit of a laugh.
Well, it just seems a bit too pathological, doesn't it? You know, you're going to go and buy a Giants. A Crows fan crazy enough to do it?
It's only an Adelaide thing that people don't go to neutral games of footy.
I love going to neutral games.
Yeah.
I reckon it's good. I would quite happily be there tomorrow night to watch it because it'd be a really good game.
Yeah. So I think it's less strange if it was, you know, in Victoria where you can often just go, well, it's a nice day. It's a Saturday. I'm going to go to the footy. Watch your game. You just can't do it.
But that's not the way our brains are wired as South Australians.
No, not well because of the AFL.
Have you ever heard a Port supporter? I mean, I was reminiscing the other day about the Crows Geelong prelim in 2017 with a couple of mates who barracked for Port. And they work at the Sunday Mail, and they said, "Oh, we hated that night. We were editing the paper, and we had to put the Crows March to Glory on the front page the next day. I was sitting there editing the paper through gritted teeth. Like no Port fan who says, "Oh, so what you like about the Crows? They played very well in that game."
Yeah, that's right.
And we don't say it about Port.
No,
it's not the way South Australia works.
No, absolutely not. No, so I think you're saying Blakey's song's going to fall on deaf ears.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, total waste of time.
Make sure you're listening out just after 10:30 a.m. today. Matthew Pantelis will be joined by Nick Chigwin from Physio Extra. Great place. I went there. The stuff they've got there is world class. You won't find it in any other place in Australia. He'll be discussing all the things you need to know about their services as part of our NDIS Spotlight as well. So
he'll probably be feeling quite cock-a-hoop about the way the SANFL season is panning
reckon.
out as Bays, one hand on the Premiership Cup. Yeah. Only the Crows or Sturt will stand in their way.
Yeah.
Never say the Bays are a Monty in a grand final, mate.
Well, it's kind of fun to say. 2 to 8.
Gets you into trouble if you say it at my house.
5AA News coming up, breaking 8 next.
G'day, it's Baz from FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian dairy farmers are doing it tough right now, but at FIVEAA Milk we always look after our own, and you can too. When you reach for milk, reach for FIVEAA Milk and help support our hard-working South Australian dairy farmers and their families. Because right now, they need our help. 3 words make all the difference. FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian first and proud of it.
1239 South Road, St Mary's. You'll want to remember that address. 1239 South Road, St Mary's. The new showroom of an Adelaide favourite, Bob Burns Blinds. Their gorgeous new showroom has a huge range of blinds, shutters and curtain materials on display. The team at Bob Burns Blinds can't wait to help you create a stunning new look for your home. It's a must-see. The Bob Burns Blinds new showroom at 1239 South Road, St Mary's. See you there.
Now, we probably all have a mate in the construction industry. Well, here's a startling statistic. Our mates in construction are 8 times more likely to die by suicide than from a workplace accident.
Mates in Construction is a charity dedicated to suicide awareness training and support for the construction and allied industries. It's mates looking out for mates. Training teaches people what it looks like when their mates are struggling and how to have meaningful conversations.
In 2021, Mates in Construction was endorsed by the World Health Organisation as a global industry suicide prevention best practice.
If you believe your workplace needs assistance from Mates in Construction, visit mates.org.au. If you're struggling, call Lifeline on 13 11 14 for 24/7 crisis support. That's 13 11 14.
For nearly 40 years, no one has done certified used cars quite like Steinborner Automotive, with dedicated yards including SA's best range of commercials loaded and ready to go, including SA's only dedicated small car and SUV centre, and SA's only large SUV and 4x4 centre suited for any lifestyle. Steinborner still also has the best range of Commodores from ZBs to the collectibles. View all late model used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 21. With the 8 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Keep in shape with physio-instructed clinical Pilates and gym classes at 6 locations. physioextra.com.
A luxury cruise ship which ran aground in remote eastern Greenland has been freed by a research fishing vessel. The ship, carrying 206 passengers, mainly Australians, had been stranded since Monday. The vessel will now sail to a port in Iceland to undergo safety checks. Up to 20,000 people are now feared dead in Libya's flood disaster. More from Brett McLeod.
The town of Derna bore the brunt of the catastrophe, and survivors say they believe many bodies are still trapped under the mud, creating a new threat: disease. Adding to the trauma, the United Nations says many of the thousands of deaths could have been avoided. Libya's meteorological service has been so run down after years of civil war and divided governments, it is in practical terms not operating. If it had been, the United Nations meteorological experts say warnings could have been given, which would have averted most of the deaths.
And another aftershock has been felt in Morocco nearly a week after the earthquake, which killed nearly 3,000 people. Villagers in parts of the Atlas Mountains ran from their homes when they felt the latest tremor. A woman's been arrested after she was caught drink driving at Encounter Bay early this morning. Police were called after she drove off from a Victor Harbour hotel. The 40-year-old local woman blew .219, more than 4 times the legal limit. She was arrested and charged with drink driving and resisting arrest. She'll face court in November. 3/4 of retailers have had items stolen as the cost of living crisis worsens. The Australian Retailers Association has found shoplifting is becoming more common alongside verbal abuse and aggression. Scamming, fraud and harassment are also being seen at more than 1/3 of stores. There are fears Australian Federal Police have been impacted by a Russian cyber attack. Katie Fuller reports.
The cyber attack was as severe as the Optus and Medibank hacks, except it's not customer data that's been stolen, but the details of AFP staff. The initial target of this breach in April was HWL Ebsworth, a nationwide law firm. The AFP was a client of this firm and is just one of many government agencies affected. There are now fears police data has been leaked on the dark web, including identities and email addresses. The breach is being investigated.
The Presbyterian Church has banned the Welcome to Country. It's deemed acknowledgements of country inappropriate for worship because Indigenous spirituality is inconsistent with Christian belief. The 23rd anniversary of the opening ceremony of the Sydney Olympics is being marked with a grandstand named in honour of gold medalist Cathy Freeman. More from Clinton Maynard.
The Sydney Olympic Stadium, home to the NRL Grand Final, State of Origin thrillers, the Socceroos' historic World Cup qualification and the Matildas' recent heartbreak. But 2 moments stand above them all, and both feature Cathy Freeman, lighting the cauldron for the Sydney Olympics opening ceremony on this day 23 years ago and winning gold in the 400 metres. Now Cathy is being honoured with the Eastern Grandstand of the stadium to carry her name. The state government took nominations from the public, but from the start of the process it seemed almost certain the honour would go to the athlete who stood tall on this day 23 years ago.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get 10-year warranty and 10 years capped price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide forward Charlie Dixon will play his first match since round 20 when he lines up in the side's must-win clash against GWS tomorrow night. Dixon has been out with a foot injury, but teammate Arazio Fantasia has told David and Will he's looking fit and ready to play.
And he looked pretty good last night at training, I think, for someone who hasn't trained an awful lot due to that foot. He was running around and taking marks and kicking goals, so he looks pretty good, ready to go.
Which is great to hear. The Power will hold a light training session later this morning, while the Giants will arrive in town later this afternoon. To tennis, Australia's kept its hopes of qualifying for the Davis Cup finals in November alive, following a spirited come-from-behind win against France. Max Purcell lost his singles match, but Alex de Minaur then won his, meaning it all came down to the doubles, and Matt Ebden and Purcell got it done, Purcell serving it out with 3 consecutive aces.
Epton and Purcell seal victory for Australia.
Audio there thanks to Channel 9. Well, Australia's cricketers will look to wrap up the one-day series tonight in South Africa. The Aussies currently lead the 5-match series 2-1 heading into Game 4. And in some golf, Aussie Lucas Herbert's off to a blistering start at a PGA tournament in California. He rattled off a stunning 10 birdies before finishing in the clubhouse at 9 under, giving him a 2-shot lead. Meantime, Jason Scrivener is the best of the Aussies at the BMW Championship in England. He finished his opening round at 4 under and is 4 shots behind Norway's Marcus Helligkild. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
For your chance to win 100k, visit homelottery.com.au before September 15.
At Dry Creek, look out for a car fire and smash. It's on the north-south motorway coming inbound just as you pass Bolivar. Got a crash on the freeway 2 around Bridgewater. 3 cars involved. Pretty solid delays. That's near Mount Barker Road. While at Valley View, road plates in use due to a hole in the road. Green Junction Road near Pools Drive, speeds at 40. Busy Anzac Highway as you're heading into the city. I got a camera at Dyson Road at Christie's Beach. The referendum is coming soon. Enrol to vote or update your details by 8 p.m. Monday, September 18 at aec.gov.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Mostly sunny and 21, sunny tomorrow 24, a sunny morning on Sunday 29 and then partly cloudy for Monday 27, at the moment 14. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Then I saw her face.
Breakfast on 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
7 after 8, the sun is up. Another beautiful day on the way. A little bit cooler than yesterday, but the wind will be less. Yesterday wasn't great, frankly.
Deeply unpleasant.
Some
Hard on
nice
the
days
plants.
ahead, though. Tough on the plant. You lost some cucumbers, didn't you?
Lost my cucumbers, all my seedlings gone.
Yeah. Valet.
Yes, farewell. The tomatoes and jalapenos held up, but the cucumbers are going to need to go back to Mitre 10, get some more. I think I need a little greenhouse to just give them a bit of a head start.
Oh, there's a project.
Yeah, do that.
You can jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream, obviously, at any point and contribute to the program as well. So many excellent Meat Tray Friday entries that I don't know how we're going to pick a winner.
No, it's tough.
Reimagining the Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start the Fire.
Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray.
Australian version with Australian names, Australian moments in history and so forth. People are writing whole verses now. They're not just contributing, sort of touchstones and moments.
Debin St Clair says, umpires miss the score, China bans our cellar door, Alan Joyce, Qantas Plains, people voting no again.
That's very
Or
good.
yes, but I think more voting no.
Well, like no again, I guess, when it's 36 out of 44 referenda, it's no, so.
I like this one. This is from Jared. Yeah, well, that's right. Jared says, Cooper's Pale, West End, supercars at the bend, SA, great state pandas that won't mate.
Very South Australian one. That works. We can do a South Australia verse in our version.
Even Wang Wang and Feeney copping a bit of a lift your game there from Jared. Beautiful stuff.
Rightfully so. 8223 is the number. Call it right now if you'd like to go to the AFL Grand Final, because right after breaking at 8, we're going to give someone else the chance. In fact, you know what? We're going to give it away. We're going to give it away in the next 10 minutes.
This could take a while.
That's
Tough.
right. It's going to be someone who gets the 3 artists and 3 songs correct. You are going onto the very, very short list to be drawn out at the start of, not next week, but the following week. And if it's you, you're off to the grand final with the flights, tickets, accommodation, you name it. It's all taken care of. First, though, breaking at 8.
Well, Adelaide's TV newsrooms might want to head up to River Road, Harndorf today, because we've been told that there was the mother of all cleanups there yesterday by the Department of Transport. Now, a resident of River Road, which has obviously been earmarked as the new Harndorf bypass, he's given us a whole series of photos and video of Dipty trucks. They were flat out yesterday clearing branches to make the road as safe as it possibly can be. Our source said, I've never seen the Transport Department work so fast. There were multiple teams of tree cutters and guys putting up signs as they worked south from Sidewood. So look, if you live on River Road and saw any of this excitement, we would love to hear from you. But the extent of the effort yesterday, because apparently it was massive, it was the full length of River Road, shows that one thing is clear. This big clean-up suggests that neither the state government nor Dipty have any plans to walk away from River Road as the Harndorf bypass solution.
I'd love to take some calls from anyone who can say that they've witnessed the great...
It was all happening. There are trucks everywhere.
The great cutback.
Chainsaws at 20 paces. Any branch that was even poking out marginally over the road was getting chopped off. So it doesn't sound like there's a plan B.
I wonder if it's window dressing or if it'll make enough of a difference for truckies and people that need to use it as a...
Well, it seems to depend on who you talk to. I mean,
yeah.
the Truckers Association has downplayed the concerns, but we've had calls on our show from truckers who say it's a terrible road.
I guess it depends on the size of your truck you're driving and
exactly.
things like that. Happy to take your calls on that, 8223 0000. In the meantime, we're going to put someone in the running to win some AFL Grand Final tickets if they can tell us these 3 songs and artists.
Ride, ride, take the ball. The girl became a woman on a long and dusty road.
I met a strange lady. She made me nervous.
All right, first caller through is Tiffany in Fitzroy. Tiffany, good morning to you.
Hello, how you going?
Good, thanks, Tiffany. You feeling
That's
confident?
good. I'm nervous.
No, you'll be all
Because
right.
I think I've got him.
Oh, we hope you've got them too.
All right, Tiffany, fire away.
Okay, Irene Cara, Flashdance, What a Feeling. The Seekers, I'm Australian. And Colin Hay, Down Under.
Go through them again for us one more time, Tiffany. You'll race through there.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Irene Cara, Flashdance, What a Feeling. The Seekers, I Am Australian. And Colin Hay, Down Under.
Yes, you are absolutely correct, Tiffany. You were right to be nervous because you had them correct. Geez, that was superb because a lot of
brilliant
people were remarking about how hard they were today. So did you get them right from just listening to them earlier?
Yes, straight off the bat.
I had no idea what the second one was.
Here they are, a bit longer. So, Tiffany, who's your footy team?
I'm going to go for Port.
You are? Do you normally go for Port, or are you a bandwagon
look,
jumper?
No, but my first team is North Adelaide Footy Club, SNFL. So,
You're a purist.
I am.
We can put you in the running to win tickets to Prospect if you like.
No. Got that covered, thanks.
Sadly, the Chooks aren't going to be there this year.
No, let's not talk about that.
No.
Well, Tiffany, you could be off to the AFL Grand Final in a couple of weeks' time.
Fingers crossed, Tiffany.
Absolutely. That was magnificent work. Well done.
Certainly was.
Another chance to be put in the running Monday. We'll have 3 more songs, 3 more artists, and we'll put someone else on the very, very short list to win those excellent tickets.
Every day next week.
Every day next week. We draw it on the Monday the week following.
Because we live to give.
Yeah, that's what we do. Time for Fuel Watch. Download the free RAA app today to find the cheapest fuel in an instant. The Ex-Convenience Port Road Hindmarsh is $1.83.5. The Ex-Convenience Goodwood Road Panorama, $1.83.7. The OTR Tapley Hill Road Seaton, $1.85.9. And in the hills, the cheapest is the OTR Onkaparinga Valley Road Balhanna at $1.84.9. Diesel has gone up. Silver's Auto Centre, Gilbert Street, Adelaide, $2.09.9. I looked at some barrel price analysis yesterday.
You had something on the news about it last night. About
nothing good.
Don't expect it to come down below $2 anytime soon.
Here's your headline. Nothing good. Petrol price-wise in the offing. Ray's call in for Meat Tray Friday. Morning to you, Ray.
Oh, good morning, Dave and Will. I'm having so much fun this morning while I'm working listening to you.
Oh, good on
and
you, Ray.
I just wanted to make a contribution. I can't even talk properly. I'm so excited.
You sound like me.
That's all right.
Okay. Kevin Rudd, what a dud. ScoMo had to go. Albanese, Plevacek, referendum. What the heck? AFL, go to hell. Qantas, shame. Joyce to blame. COVID really laid us low. Spurrier Marshall, what a show. FIVEAA makes our day. I have nothing more to say.
Oh, Ray!
Oh, Ray.
Unbelievable.
That was so good,
You got
Ray.
a standing ovation for the producers booth there, Ray. I've never seen that before.
That was
Oh, my
brilliant,
God.
Ray.
Oh.
I'm just shaking because I'm so busy working my dogs
It sounds like you got the dogs in the background. What are you up to with the dogs there?
Oh, that's my greyhounds.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Oh, superb. Hey, Ray.
Yeah, yes.
I can't remember you ringing the show before. Are you on debut? That was if you are.
No. I phoned you about 12 months ago, I think, to tell you that my hero was my dog, Gun McBain.
That's right.
That's right. Of course.
That well.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've still got him, the gorgeous creature. He's 11 and a half years old, and he's still beautiful.
Oh, lovely.
Him, and good on you, Ray.
Hey, Ray, that was superb.
That's made everyone's day, that call. That was magnificent.
For someone who's a non-frequent caller, you pulled that off with great panache and gusto.
Absolutely excellent. 16 after 8.
What about Ray? What a cracker.
Let's check traffic thanks to Keys. If you're tired of back pain, time to try Keys at KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will. At Bridgewater, 3-car crash on the freeway inbound in Mount Barker Road. Very heavy delays inbound. Dry Creek, residual delays from really a car fire and crash in the north-south motorway as you're heading outbound. And Verdun, urgent electrical works on Mount Barker Road near the Verdun ramp roundabout. Busy Anzac Highway at Ashford with a camera today. Sheriff's Road at Morford Vale. Bunnings can help you maintain your garden for less this spring. From plants and garden tools to pest control and potting mix. Shop now and get your garden ready to enjoy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Footy fans, Crows fans specifically, are you orange or teal? Are you all things South Australian or are you just anti-port? What are you, Jordan?
Orange, Sully.
Let's go to Murray. Go, Murray.
Yeah, I'm a Crows supporter, but I'm going orange.
Rowie and Timmy G.
What about you, Rick?
I'm an orange.
Hello, Brett.
I'm on the orange bandwagon.
Where's the teal?
4 p.m. weekdays on 5AA.
South Australia boasts many one-of-a-kind destinations, but only one has the best local produce, super specials, cheap eats, pantry essentials and more. With over 70 traders under one roof, the Adelaide Central Market has something for everyone. It's open every Tuesday to Saturday with late-night trading Friday, plus live music and free kids' activities on Saturday. If you can't visit the market, order online for home delivery every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. AdelaideCentralMarket.com.
You've decided to build? It's exciting stuff. When you've found land, it's a good idea to get advice on what you can build on your new parcel of paradise. Get Steve from Beechwood Homes to take a look. There's no obligation, and you'll get a great understanding of what's possible. Sloping block, flat block, weird shaped block, or block on a cliff. Speak with Steve from Beechwood Homes for all the possibilities. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
We've all got our favourites in life, and there's nothing better than a trip up the hill to the Barossa. Ancient soils, old vines, and plenty of those first-class wines. A must-stop while you're there is my mates at Rusden Wines. I've done the trip, and there's nothing better than sitting in front of that fireplace with a glass of me old faithful Blackgut Shiraz. Footy season means red season, so do yourself a favour and make your next red a Rusden. Check out rusdenwines.com.au.
It's easy to get behind the wheel of a new Mawson Lakes Volkswagen right now. In fact, it's ridiculously easy. All you need to do is head to the showroom on Salisbury Highway. Check out the range of new and demo Volkswagens on sale now, and then pick your favourite. How easy is that? All stock is ready for immediate delivery with easy finance options available. And remember our next day servicing. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Children and young people come into care for a variety of reasons, but they all have one thing in common: the need for a stable, safe and loving home. At Centrecare Foster Care, carer households play a key role in providing a secure foundation for children to grow and thrive. If you're caring and compassionate, you have a priceless gift to give a child. Consider becoming a foster carer today and visit us at fostercare.centrecare.org.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
20 after 8. If you're around after 8:30 and you want to participate in Feedback Friday for your chance to win $100 worth of seafood, thanks to the great people at Samtash, you can get calling now on 8223 FIVEAA. Chat with Emily and Sam out there and get yourself in one of the 3 spots for Feedback Friday.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to Flashback with Michael Smith.
Love to Flashback Michael Smith on a Friday morning. The segment, of course, on 7 News on Sunday night. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will and David. Before we get to Flashback, can I do a late entry for Meat Tray Friday?
Oh, please.
It's going to be hard to beat Race. She was sensational, but I think we need to be doing more to celebrate particularly iconic South Australian people and personalities. So how about this as an opener? You ready? Tense up. Magic Mountain downtown, Humphrey Bear, Bobo Clown, Wilsey, Conzi, Scotty's Motel.
Scotty's Motel.
Scotty's needs a mention.
If Peter Hurley's listening, I'm available for the Arkabar top room tomorrow night.
Mate, I'll let him know. He's always looking for new talent.
It'll sell out.
Scotty's Motel deserves a special mention, I think.
That is superb, Michael. Well done.
Now, speaking of iconic things, on Flashback this week, we are looking at one of Adelaide's iconic buildings. Some people refer to it as the Big Pasty. Others suggest it looks more like a crashed UFO. The Bicentennial Conservatory, which has got a really curious history. It was originally suggested as an idea by architect Guy Marin, but not for the bicentennial, but for South Australia's sesquicentenary in 1986. He came up with the design for a conservatory that was originally going to be built in Botanic Park, but there was a lot of environmental opposition to it and it ran into financial strife. So it wasn't until the feds came up with the money that it was built for 1988. Clever design. Guy describes it as sort of 2 half bicycle wheels leaning up against each other. And it's so clever that about only 1/6 of the plants ever get full glare of the sun during the day, which makes ideal conditions for growing what was tropical and now subtropical plants. Finally opened, not for the bicentennial, but in November 1989. And Guy told me he was really overwhelmed by the way people wrapped their arms around this new building for Adelaide.
And that was the most gratifying moment for me, to see that this very conservative city was prepared to put their arms around it and accept it as it is. It became the youngest building ever to be heritage listed in South Australia. I'm very proud of that, and I think it's a very good thing, and may it last forever. May it last another 35 years.
Of course, a huge draw card every year when that corpse flower is in bloom, but they're increasingly finding different ways to use it. So concerts, in fact, there's a big photographic exhibition opening there soon as well. So an iconic building and a curious history as well.
I think it's good that you recognised it, Michael. It's one thing I can never understand. The Parklands Preservation Authority people, they have a view that is an example of a completely inappropriate development on the parklands. And I actually think that to showcase the type of plants that it contains as part of the Botanic Gardens itself, it's an absolutely perfect, visually sensational, creative and environmentally oriented thing. I'm not talking about putting up a building an abattoir in the parklands. Like it's a huge addition to the Botanic Gardens. It's superb.
Yeah. And really ahead of its time in terms of its design and the technology that was deployed. And of course, if people remember, there used to be the old STA tram sheds there, and that land between the tram sheds and the Botanic Garden was pretty underwhelming and underutilised. So you can only say it's significantly enhanced that area and become a major draw card.
It's one of the best parts of the Botanic Gardens now because you've got all the native plants there that you can eat, like all the Illawarra plums and all of the munt trees and all those pine cones with the edible seeds.
Michael makes a good point too. It's a spectacular backdrop for alternate uses as well. They illuminated it as part of the Illuminate. You walk through Botanic Gardens and see all the artists come up with the light displays and so forth. And they did it in the conservatory. It looks absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, no,
great for that kind of usage. Good on you, Michael. Look forward to seeing it all on Flashback on 7 News on Sunday night. Lisa from Harndorf has called in. Morning to you, Lisa.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good, thanks, Lisa.
I'm phoning about the Strathalbyn River Road, Harndorf Main Street fan.
What are your thoughts?
I think best ask me something, otherwise I'll ramble.
No,
Are you allowed to ramble?
Ramble, rage, go berserk.
Are you a fan or do you hate it?
No, I hate it.
Do you live right on it?
I live
Here we go.
Okay, Lisa's
Bit of hold music.
Lisa's put us in the waiting room. Lisa has a little-known function on her phone where she gets so angry, she goes to a peaceful place.
Are you back, Lisa? No, I think we've lost
dropped
Lisa.
out. I actually think what may have happened is
She
Lisa...
dumped herself.
She grabbed her phone and actually just smashed it over something.
That's right. Maybe a Tom
Lisa-
Coots and Toner's voodoo doll or something
Lisa,
like that.
we hope you find peace.
Poor old Lisa.
That was rather dramatic.
Feel free to ring back any time, Lisa.
Yes.
You can ring us Monday.
Yeah.
Well, you can ring us today. You can ring us whenever you want.
Exactly. I think we've got her back
Hang on,
now.
Lisa's back.
I think we've got you back now, Lisa. Everything
The
okay
call,
over there?
the call dropped out. Sorry.
Oh,
That's all right. No worries.
All good. You're just starting to, reach into your rage.
I wasn't really going to rage. But yeah, I think I'm not sure how far we got through there, but I think the main thing, not just for the residents of Strathalbyn Road and River Road and the surroundings that use the road, is everyone wants to know who is going to benefit from banning the trucks from the main street as an interim measure when it only is going to remove less than 1% of the traffic.
Yeah.
Tom Coots and Tonus keeps talking about economic benefit, returning the township to the people, the tourists. It's going to make absolutely no difference to how busy the road is in Hahndorf. There'll still be circulating traffic. There won't be any more foot traffic. Hahndorf Township is at capacity, and there will be no economic growth until you remove parking from one side of the street and provide parking for visitors.
Lisa, thank you. Glenn has called in on this issue as well. Morning to you, Glenn.
Yeah, good morning, Will. How are you?
Good, mate. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, first of all, I live on River Road, but that's not the issue. I don't mind what goes past. They could come up and have a look and see if there's a solution. I believe there is. If you use the road that they're using at the moment, but don't go as far as Hahndorf and turn left just after Hahndorf Oval, there's a road called Bondusa Road, leads onto Fairview Road. You could widen and resurface that road. No private land acquisition required. Just 2 kilometres of road to resurface. The reason the trucks use a chunk of the Hahndorf Road is that it's the only suitable quality road.
Yeah, right.
If you went to the alternative way down Strathalbyn Road in particular, that road is very dilapidated in many parts and quite narrow too.
Okay. Good local information, Glenn. We appreciate that. Thank you for calling in. Thanks to Lisa as well. Our phone line's always open, 8223 0000. They're open
Feedback
right now
Friday.
too for Feedback Friday. First 3 callers through will play Feedback Friday. I'm in the running to win $100 worth of Samtas seafood. That's a lot of seafood. That's a lot of fun. That's the beginning of an excellent weekend. That's what that is, especially when it's nice and warm outside. And the best part about Feedback is you get asked questions to which there are no wrong answers. It's not a quiz, it's just your thoughts. It's a lot of fun. 8223 0055. Get calling right now. First 3 callers through will be our Feedback Friday panel. It's coming up right after 5AA News.
It's Ian Healy, and I'm here to talk to you about back pain and Kiza. If you're one of the 80% of Australians who suffer from back pain, it's tempting to do nothing. But this can cause weaknesses down the road. The best place to start with back pain is exercise, and the best place to exercise is Kiza. Kiza's physios and Swiss-designed strength training equipment help you build strength in a supervised environment. I go to Kiza, and you can too, at our new clinic in Norwood. Book your initial assessment at kiza.com.au.
For nearly 40 years, no one has done certified used cars quite like Steinborner Automotive, with dedicated yards including SA's best range of commercials loaded and ready to go, including SA's only dedicated small car and SUV centre, and SA's only large SUV and 4x4 centre suited for any lifestyle. Steinborner still also has the best range of Commodores, from ZBs to the collectibles. View all late model used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
Now, when it comes to all things tools for tradies and also serious DIYers, it's all in one place at Toolkit Depot.
Tools, equipment, safety gear and workwear open 7 days and online. Plus, Toolkit Depot is celebrating the opening of a new store in Seaford on September 16.
That's right. Get exclusive deals on the day with free food and drinks, plus meet the Adelaide Crows' own Rory Laird from 9am until 10am.
There's lots on offer, including Depot dollars. For every $250 you spend at Toolkit Depot Seaford on the day, You'll get $50 in gift cards to spend store-wide.
So this is tomorrow. Head on in. Remember, Toolkit Depot has a huge range of outdoor power equipment, including mowers, trimmers, chainsaws and more to kickstart your spring projects.
Check out the grand opening of another Toolkit Depot at 13 to 15 Seaford Road, Seaford Meadows on September 16. Toolkit Depot, everything you need to get the job done.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly sunny and 21 with the 8:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. physioextra.com.
A woman has died after being tasered by police near Newcastle. More from Katie Fuller.
Officers were called to a unit complex in Stockton where a woman was threatening people with an axe. It's understood the 47-year-old had barricaded herself inside the home. About 9 hours later, specialist tactical officers and police negotiators were able to gain entry. Police claim they used a number of tactical options to take the woman into custody before she was tasered. Paramedics treated her at the scene before her condition worsened and she was taken to hospital where she died. A critical incident investigation is underway.
A teenager has lost his licence after being caught driving at extreme speed at Freeling last night. Senior Constable Matt Brown says he was caught doing 128 in a 50 zone on Hanson Street.
Further checks revealed the ute was unregistered. The driver, a 19-year-old local man, was also the holder of a provisional licence. He was reported for driving at an extreme speed, driving unregistered and other traffic offences as well. He was also issued with a 12-month loss of licence notice and his car was impounded for 28 days and he'll be summoned to appear in court at a later date.
More than 90% of retailers have been victims of crime as shoplifting becomes more common in the cost of living crisis. Paul Zara from the Retailers Association has found stealing's the most common crime, occurring in 3/4 of stores, followed by verbal abuse and aggression. He says it's important to understand why people are stealing.
But you'd have to think right now in supermarkets, it's to do with, you'd have to think the cost of living would have a big part to play because of the fact that it's food. Now, in saying that, we've got many examples of organised crime happening in supermarkets where people are stealing predominantly things like meat because of the cost of them and selling them on.
It's feared the names, emails and private data of federal police have been leaked on the dark web. The AFP is among the government agencies affected by a Russian cyber attack on national law firm HWL Ebsworth. There are fears up to 20,000 people have been killed by catastrophic flooding in Libya. Rescue crews are trawling through mud and ruins for survivors in the portside city of Derna, where bodies continue to wash up along the shoreline. International Red Cross spokesman Tommaso Della Longa says it's a complex operation.
Their main priority is to focus on survivals at the moment and to find safe spaces for them. So mainly it's shelter. Together with that, we're talking about a situation where infrastructure are not anymore there, electricity is not there, telecommunication is not there. So it's very challenging.
US President Joe Biden's son Hunter has been criminally charged with 3 counts of lying when buying a firearm. The indictment marks the first time the child of a sitting US president has been criminally prosecuted. A planned plea bargain to resolve gun and tax-related charges he faced abruptly fell apart in July. A luxury cruise ship stranded in Greenland has been freed after 3 days stuck at sea. The Ocean Explorer, with 206 passengers on board, including 90 Australians, was pulled free by a fisheries research vessel at high tide. And NASA's looking at how to better gather and study information about unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UFOs. The agency's identified Mark McInerney as the new director in the search for activity beyond Earth. Astrophysicist Brad Tucker says the jury's out as to whether there are larger life forms.
Most of us agree, something small, bacteria, definitely exists. And, NASA's investing billions of dollars to go find these on moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The intelligent life is a harder question.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Get 10-year warranty and 10 years capped price servicing on the new Mitsubishi Outlander at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Let's start with footy. Port Adelaide has brought back forward Charlie Dixon for
for tomorrow night's must-win semi-final clash against GWS at Adelaide Oval. He'll replace Jeremy Finlayson, who's been dropped, while Dylan Williams has also been left out of the side. Meantime, the Giants have brought back Stephen Cornelio after he missed last week with an eye injury. And the semi-final action will get underway tonight. Melbourne takes on Carlton at the MCG. You can hear all the action live right here on 5AA. Well, Alex de Minaur has defeated Frenchman Hugo Humbert in straight sets to keep Australia's Davis Cup dream alive. Australia recorded a 2-1 comeback victory over France in Manchester. A humble de Minaur trying to play down his efforts.
I didn't do anything extraordinary. The only thing I did was keep us alive, give ourselves another chance. And that's what this team is going to do.
Yeah, great win. The Wallabies will be up against a determined Fijian side in the Rugby World Cup. The match will be played early Monday morning our time. Former great Tim Foran says one of Australia's key players is out.
We went against Fiji. We're nearly virtually guaranteed a spot in the quarterfinal. But the big blow for the Wallabies only a couple of hours ago, it looks like Taniela Tupou, really our number one or number two player in the competition, looks like he's out for a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury.
Host nations France remain unbeaten after a 27-12 point win against Uruguay. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
For your chance to win 100k, visit homelottery.com.au before September 15.
At Bridgewater, 3-car crash on the freeway inbound to Mount Barker Road. Very heavy delays there. Dry Creek, residual delays from earlier car fire and crash on the north-south motorway as you're heading inbound. And Valley View Road plates in use due to a hole in the road, Grand Junction Road near Paul's Drive. Busy, Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North with a camera this morning, Dyson Road at Christie's Beach. Goes money going because it's under $10 menu. $3 tacos, free-range chicken tacos, fries with chipotle, mayo and more. This is value without compromise. GYG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Mostly sunny and 21 today, sunny tomorrow 24, a sunny morning on Sunday 29 and then partly cloudy for Monday 27, at the moment 15. More news as it happens on 5AA.
We've got Feedback Friday coming up in just a moment. 2 spots are available. Your chance to win $100 worth of seafood to kick off your weekend. It's as simple as calling 8223 0000 right now and being part of a segment we love to round out the week with some very simple questions. No wrong answers. Hell of a lot of fun as well. 8223 0000. Get calling now and get calling fast. Just 2 spots remain.
Way back in 1974, Gliderol Garage Doors began manufacturing and installing garage doors in South Australia. A lot has changed since then, but our commitment to quality remains as strong as ever. We have garage door solutions of all kinds. Not only do we have traditional doors, our timber look or custom designer doors ensure your house will make a style statement. For a free measure and quote and helpful advice, give Gliderol a call, 1300 799 177, or go to gliderol.com.au.
When you build with Lamar Homes, things happen pretty quickly. I'm talking months, not years. At Lamar Homes, we never take on too much. We're nimble enough to move on things a lot quicker, so you won't be waiting forever to live the dream. Plus, right now, Lamar Homes is throwing in $35,000 for your concreting, landscaping and fencing. $35,000 of extras and move in way sooner? Absolutely. T's and C's apply. lamarhomes.com.au. Here today, home tomorrow. Sooner. 1239 South Road, St Mary's. You'll want to remember that address. 1239 South Road, St Mary's. The new showroom of an Adelaide favourite, Bob Burns Blinds. Their gorgeous new showroom has a huge range of blinds, shutters and curtain materials on display. The team at Bob Burns Blinds can't wait to help you create a stunning new look for your home. It's a must-see. The Bob Burns Blinds new showroom at 1239 South Road, St Mary's. See you there.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
Feedback. Friday today, so have you say feedback.
21 to 9, Feedback Friday time on this Friday morning. 3 contestants. One $100 Samtas seafood voucher. We start Clarence Gardens today. Tyson, good morning to you.
Good morning, boys.
Tyson, have you lit the barbie up yet? Is it barbecue weather?
Ooh, I've done the Weber.
You've done the Weber.
What sort of Weber have you got, mate?
Old school.
Oh, the old kettle one?
Yeah, original old school, yep.
What's your go-to meat to insert?
Ooh, would have to be the pork.
Yeah,
which
the pork.
I prep with my hairdryer.
Oh, to get it super dry?
Yeah, crackling.
Oh, yeah. Did you leave it in the fridge overnight too to dry it out?
Well, that's kind of what the hairdryer does.
Well, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Tyson,
Good
orange
hat.
or teal tomorrow night?
Teal.
Teal.
You going to win?
Yep.
All right, simple as that. Good. Where would you put the police horses?
Oh, my suggestion was the other day to put them at Morphinville and then use the trams to ship them into town.
That was
An
brilliant.
idea.
There you go. Using a
Hard
public
to-
transport infrastructure.
Hard to validate the old Le Creuset ticket with the hoof, though.
Oh, I think they could do it for free. Have you ever been inside the Qantas Club, Tyson?
The chairman's
I've walked past. Oh, actually, have I? No, I think I went to the Virgin, not Qantas, no.
Okay, all right. You're not running the country yet, then. Tyson, do you have a voting plan for the Voice yet? Are you pre-polling
Yes,
or
I do.
are you turning up on the day?
I'm a yes man.
Oh, good on you, mate.
Okay, well, we didn't mean your
there we go.
intentions. It was more about the format of voting. But if you're happy to declare that too, that's good as well.
There's a blip on the statistical radar for the FIVEAA audience.
Good on you, Tyson. Thank you. Don't know if he's doing it on the day or pre-polling. James, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Must be a nice
Good,
morning
thanks,
there in
James.
Collinswood. James, Mike Brady has performed up there Gazali 11 times at the AFL Grand Final. Is it time to retire it or keep it going?
Look, it's a great song, but I think it's probably done its dash, and we do need something new. He might be coming out in a wheelchair soon.
Well, you might be. It's been going on a long time. I can't believe it's only 11, frankly. James, do you use an iPhone or an Android phone?
An iPhone, because it's links to all the other 300 devices I have.
Yeah, that's right. Just easy to keep it all in one brand.
Yeah.
Coles supermarket workers are wearing body-fitted cameras now to limit shoplifting. Are you happy to be filmed while shopping at the supermarket?
Yes, the short answer is I'm happy to be filmed because I believe that we're being watched in so many ways anyway. It doesn't really matter, and nothing that I do is going to be a cause of concern for them.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Level-headed answer.
James, how would you rate your lawn right now out of 10?
Well, it's either a 0 or a 10 because I've just moved to an apartment. So whichever way, I've got none. So
an NA.
Yeah, not applicable.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Did you used to be a lawn man?
Well, I used to have a lawn, and I used to look after, and I reckon it would have been a 7.
Okay, no,
good.
That's good. And just lastly, Lucy's movie review this week was Die Hard. Do you believe Die Hard is a Christmas film?
Absolutely. I mean, how else could you describe it?
It's
always on at Christmas,
James.
I always like Christmas Eve, last minute wrapping of the gifts and then a bit of ho, 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 now I have a machine gun to see in the festive season.
Very festive. Let's go to Plimpton Park. Thank you, James. Let's go to Jane. Morning, Jane.
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Good,
thanks, Jane.
Hey, Jane, have you ever smoked a menthol cigarette?
Yes, I did. It used to be the Alpine.
Oh, the Alpines, classy.
They're about to get banned, the menthols.
Mark Butler's
There'll
announcing
be no
it.
more.
The health minister, yeah, no flavours allowed.
Many years ago.
Jane, do you think the Premier should be spending taxpayers' money on a visit to China this week, or should he just driven to Joslin instead?
Well, I'm not very happy about all of that, but I think he could have just gone to the West End side, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
the West
He
End
wanted
side.
to spend all that much money.
Yeah, they spent quite a lot of money there.
There they are.
And maybe that's where we should be putting the police graves.
Yeah, well.
Maybe that hasn't been mentioned yet.
Yeah, maybe that's the plan, Jane. You might have just unearthed it.
Well, just maybe in an overpass across the Botanic Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid something could be built in or adjacent to the parklands, and we know that's a hanging offence in this
No.
town. Jane, Joe Biden was cut short during a press conference this week when he completely lost his way. Has that ever happened to you when you've done a public speech?
Oh, I don't think they're game. I don't think they'd be game to try and shut me up.
I'd like to see that.
Good answer, Jane.
Jane, Eddie Maguire, uncouth Collingwood buffhead or likeable larrikin?
Well, I thought his actions the other night were a bit uncalled for in the restaurant.
A little bit over the top.
I think that was a little bit much.
Okay, thank you.
Quite callous, I thought.
And just finally, Jane, Kmart Port Adelaide's announced it will close on the 25th of May next year. Is there a store that you couldn't live without?
Yes, my local cafe.
Yeah.
Give it a plug,
Give
Jane.
them a plug.
Sidewalk at Castle Plaza.
Oh, good on Sidewalk at Castle Plaza.
I like
And I'm part of the therapy group there, so they'll know who I am.
Oh, good.
Do you like Euros, Jane?
No.
Okay. Well, they do a good Euros. There's a really good Euro shop at Castle Plaza.
Jane's going there for the coffees and the breakfasts.
No, I was just saying if she wanted a Euros.
Oh, okay.
Go there to solve the problems of the world.
That's it. Yeah, I'm sure you do an excellent job, Jane, and no one tells you to stop talking either, which I like. Good on you, Jane. Who do we like for the $100 Samtown seafood voucher?
Look, hard to split them. All right, let's give it to Jane.
All right, Jane.
Castle Plaza's own Jane.
Yeah, you can talk about it with the ladies.
With the girls.
Solving the problems of the world.
Big thanks to Tyson and James too, though. Let's give them a FIVEAA breakfast cup.
All right, everyone walks away a winner. Let's check traffic in the meantime. Thanks to Keezer. You're tired of back pain? Time to try Keezer. KIESER.com.au.
At Bridgewater, a nasty three-car crash on the freeway causing all kinds of headaches. Really solid delays. It's near Mount Barker Road. Give yourself some extra time if you've got to head that way this morning. Dry Creek, residual delays from earlier car fire and crash on the north-south motorways. You're heading outbound. And Valley View today, road plates in use due to a nasty hole in the road. Grand Junction Road near Pools Drive. Amart's multi-buy deal is on now. Save 20% when you buy 4 or more full-priced items store-wide, including lounges, dining, bedroom and more. T's and C's apply. Hurry and Sunday at Amart. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Time is up for your chance to win the ultimate payday. You've got until midnight tonight to get your Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery tickets and be one of 5 winners to pocket $100,000. Plus, your tickets stay in the draw for the $5 million Hyde Park Grand Prize. Hurry! See full details and get your tickets by midnight tonight at homelottery.com.au. That's homelottery.com.au. Licence M14411.
Some builders think a sloping block has limitations. When Beechwood Homes look at a sloping block, they think, the possibilities. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in them. Beechwood will design a home that works with the land you have, taking full advantage of every square metre. So if you're looking at a sloping block, go for it. Beechwood has your back. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
If you've got an ache or any ongoing pain, don't put off treatment. Get your body feeling right with Physio Extra. They've got 6 locations, including their rehab centres in Marion and Norwood.
What was you saying before? I went and had a look at the other day with Nick Chigwidden. Fantastic setup. Both facilities have extensive rehabilitation gyms with the latest equipment, and Marion also has a private hydrotherapy pool fitted out with lifters for safe and easy pool access.
They've also got this technology that generally only exists in major hospitals in major capital cities, but they've got it at a couple of their centres. We're talking about the Locomat and Armio robotic technology. So what does it do? Locomat assists individuals with mobility impairments, particularly people who have suffered from neurological injuries or conditions that affect their ability to walk. Armio is essentially the same device, but for your upper body and arms. It benefits upper limb rehab for people who have suffered an injury, people who have suffered stroke, or a neurological condition.
So this technology, together with their highly trained professionals, makes Physio Extra the right choice for everything physio, Pilates, hydrotherapy and more. Check out their website, physioextra.com.au.
The 48-hour event is now on at Audi Solitaire. Unprecedented offers on select new vehicles in stock and demonstrators for immediate delivery. Visit Audi Solitaire before time runs out. The 48-hour event ends Saturday 5 p.m. Audi Solitaire, Blair Road, Hawthorn.
Hi, it's Jacinta Numbajimba Price. We all want to help Indigenous Australians in disadvantaged communities, but this voice is not the answer. We don't know how it would work, and once it opens the door to activists, we don't know what comes next. What we do know is, once it's in the Constitution, it risks legal challenges and will permanently divide us. This voice is risky, divisive and permanent. So if you don't know, vote no.
Authorised by AMA Liberal Adelaide.
And the Anzac legends didn't mention modern blood and tears.
Breakfast on 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
God help me. I was only 19. thing.
Not often we play new music on 5AA Breakfast. An old song made new. We have the man behind it in the studio with us, John Schumann. John, good morning to you, mate.
And haven't management woken up to you two clowns yet?
No.
We're still here.
We've got pictures.
Oh, that's right. We got the negatives. We're not giving them up for love or money. Now, John, I'm glad you came back, because last time I made a complete goose of myself by getting the lyrics wrong to your absolutely emblematic and awesome anthem to the men who...
You're bringing that up first?
I'm leading with my chin.
You're right, okay. Wow.
Dinny, I said, didn't I?
Yeah, you said. Yeah, she wasn't happy.
Did it get back to her?
Absolutely. I told her.
Oh, mate. But as Will said, it's an old song. In fact, 40 years old next year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's surprising that it lasted that long. It's surprising that I lasted that long.
But that version that we just heard, it's been made new again by an excellent band who I think a lot of our listeners would know probably from their big hit London Still a few years ago, the Waifs, who are from Western Australia.
Yeah.
So how did that collaboration come about?
I'd done some... I'd got Shane Nicholson, who some of your listeners will know, married to Casey Chambers for a while, and then, but a great singer-songwriter and producer in his own right. I'd got him to do some producing for me, some mixes and stuff, and he rang me up and said, you know what, we should really do one more version of I Was Only 19, because that's what the world needs. But with your voice cracked and aged as it is. And because I trust Shane, I entertained the idea, and then we tossed around who we'd get to come and do it with me, and he knows Josh from the Waifs, who just lives up the road, and the Waifs jumped at it because they were big fans of Red Gum and big fans of I Was Only 19, and so we went up to Sydney, bunged it down, and it's out.
I reckon a lot of Australians sing with a neutral accent. You don't.
No.
And neither do the Waifs.
No.
Do you think that's in part why this song works, why they were a natural fit to be part of this?
Yeah. I mean, when I first heard the Waifs, I was listening to it and I said, so that's where the Red Gum baton went. It's almost like they picked it up and ran with it. They tell great stories, and they're lovely. I just had a great time with them. They're just fantastic, like a mutual admiration society, so that always helps.
In your usual self-deprecating way, John, you just talked about your voice being old and cracked, which it isn't, but you have got a timbre. As you get older, your voice does change a bit.
Yeah.
The thing I like about this version of the song is it almost sounds like you, with your voice and his younger voice matching up, it almost sounds like you're almost like an aged Vietnam veteran talking to his son or something.
Well, yeah, just telling
there's an
a story.
intergenerational thing to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the really interesting thing is that Don from the Waifs, who's got a very distinctive, Australian Aussie Sheila accent, sings the first verse with the Vietnam veteran in the third person. So she's almost acting out the role of Denny, even though we left the first line in because it's so iconic. But she sings, and the 6th Battalion were the next to it, and it was he who drew the card, and that's him in his slouch hat with his SLR and Green. God help him, he was only 19. And I come in and tell the story, and it's actually quite arresting, and it gives a new dimension to the narrative.
Yeah, it does, because it's like she's singing about a family member.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I reread the lyrics to the song this morning, and the point about the accent that Will made is part of it, but then you've got, Puckapunyal, the VBs in the tents. Like there's so much. So many countries were involved over decades in Vietnam and the war before against France as well, the Viet Minh and all of that. But it's nothing honed in more on the Australian experience of it than that tune.
Yeah, I think, there's two things. One is that Don Walker wrote Khe-Sanh for Cold Chisel and released it about 18 months before I even wrote this. And I thought, because I was always thinking about a song about the Vietnam veterans, just tossing it around. And then he wrote this, and I thought, well, that's it. Great. Thanks, Don. Fantastic. Outstanding. So that's one off the list. And anyway, somehow I wrote it anyway, and the thing is that as good a song as Khe-Sanh is, Australians weren't at Khe-Sanh, right? And the Vietnam veterans swung in behind 19 because that was their story, and I got the detail right. The other part of that story is when we released it and was just going nuts here, the record company went to the American affiliates and said, this thing is going nuts here and you've got a lot of Vietnam veterans, you should release it in the States. And the affiliates from New York came back and said, yeah, but he'd have to change, some of the names because, we don't understand about Puckapunyal and, Vung Tau, and we don't understand about, Shoal Water and VB. And so the record company put it to me to change the lyrics for release in the States, and I sang them the Angel song. You will remember, of course, boys.
No way.
Where's
the old dump button?
And then, because my argument was, look, we'd been sucking up American culture for decades and decades. Totally. Chicago and New York and Washington, LA, and yada yada yada. And I said, look, they could have a spoonful of our stuff. And they said no, and I said, well, you can jam it, and I probably. At that point in time, lost my own helicopter in Tropical Island.
Yeah, but you kept your principles, John, which is important.
Because you can eat your principles.
Hey, how do people get their hands on the new song? How can they listen to the full thing?
Look, you can buy it. You can download it through iTunes, which I would encourage people to do because the royalties go to the Commando Welfare Trust.
Okay, great.
Which is fantastic. And the Commando Welfare Trust picks up a lot of the things for... the families of soldiers who served in particularly Iraq and Afghanistan, that the veteran services don't pick up. Like the footy trip, the footy boots, the music lessons, the dance lessons, all that sort of stuff. And they're a great mob. And because Dad's not here, and they get the veterans entitlements, but it doesn't get the kids at school, particularly across the line with all the other stuff. So we thought it was a really good thing. And the Waste, I said to the Waste, look, let's give the royalties away. And they said, absolutely fantastic. So we're happy about that. Yeah.
Well, John, we always love catching up with you, mate. We'll do it again soon. Thanks so much for coming in, and well done on the new tune.
Yeah, and well done on maintaining your jobs, boys. Because,
thank you.
That's the aim.
If I was the boss, I'd be raising a quizzical eyebrow in the direction of you two, let me tell you.
Good on you, John.
Great
to have you in, mate.
Yeah. Thanks, boys.
Good on you, John. Appreciate it.
We've got a Meat Tray Friday winner to announce.
We do indeed. Now, look, I think we cannot go any further than the excellent Ray from Lewiston, who rang in whilst tending to her greyhound. In full voice. Ray, you're a cracker. That was a crack up. So you are the winner of the Chanela's Meat Tray. And we're also going to give away some John Williamson tickets as a bit of a runner-up thing to Wendy for her insistence that the reworked We Didn't Start the Fire must contain the line Doing a Bradbury.
If you love your food, make sure you listen to Jade Robin today just after 3 p.m, where Chris Jarmer joins her for the FIVEAA Food and Wine Show, thanks to Smeg and Powers. Building or renovating, your first choice should be visiting the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg and Powers. That's all from us. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you Monday from 6.
This week at Foodland, new season Aussie spring lamb boneless rolled leg roast. Roasting value, just $15.90 a kilo till September 19th while stocks last.
Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah.
G'day, it's Baz from Fleurieu Milk Company. Just wanted to make sure you knew that our milk only comes from SA dairy farmers. So make sure the milk you buy is only from SA dairy farms. Because you see, no matter how tough it gets out there, our dairy farmers always